I'm so glad for you to be here today. I am joined by 4 of some of my favorite people here on Twitch. They are all around me right now. Actually, they are all over to my right now. I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, but I'll start off. If you are here, you may know me already. I am Fruitbats. I stream lots of fun different games. This is our normal time for us. We go from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. Please feel free to follow everybody on this screen, and I'll let them all introduce themselves. Starting now over to the right, playing a character called Anam. Did I pronounce that right correctly now?
Correct!
Excellent. KZ Fru.
Hello, I am KZ Fru. I speedrun for the most part. I went to HDQ 2017. I'm the Lounge's resident speedrunner. I mean, he sometimes, but really it's all about me. I'm the guy who goes fast around. So I'll pass it off to Sim over somewhere.
Oh, so professional. Well done. Thank you.
That's glorious.
No trash talking.
That wasn't
everybody.
trash.
So I'm Sim, or Simcopter1. I do strategy and simulation games here on Twitch. Feels like my first time on camera again. This is so nice. I don't remember last time we did like a co-stream and stuff like that. So welcome. Fruitbats is one of my very favorite people on Twitch. Can you hear me okay? Or are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds excellent.
Yeah. So it's an honor to be here. Started streaming about 4 years ago, and yeah, we do strategy and simulation games. And we have a wonderful community that everyone's welcome to join, and it's gonna be a really good time today. So thanks for joining Brian and all of us, and we'll pass it off to the next person. I'm not sure who is next in line though.
we'll go in a square, in a clockwise square. So Danotage, welcome.
Hello, it's Danotage, or some people say Danotage, or Denotage, or Donatage. I've heard it every way. My name's Dan. Y'all can call me Dan. I play, a lot of simulation strategy games as well, but every now and then you'll see me dive into the occasional shooter. And I kind of I like sitting back and talking with everybody, as I think all 5 of us really do. But yeah, I try to get a show in every night and just kind of hang out with everybody. So come on by, come say hi, and then, be awesome.
Excellent. An animated break, welcome as well.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Richard. You can call me Animated Break or Moose. I am a variety caster here on Twitch. I sit back, I relax, I try my best to just have a nice, positive, driven community. Have a lot of wonderful people here in the chat right now. I see so many familiar faces. It's getting me really pumped. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm honored to just be, first of all, I want to say, hey, thank you, Fruitbats, for even inviting me and thinking about me, bringing me on. I am really excited about hanging out with all of you guys, and definitely looking forward to seeing all of you and taking you guys on this adventure with us. So thanks.
Excellent. Well, it's going to be fun just as players to get to know each other and to get to know you guys. Thank you so much for being here in the audience today. We love having you here, entertaining you a little bit. We are going to be now transported into a realm of fantasy, of wonder, of, dare I say, dungeons and dragons, labyrinths, and other types of monsters. In this particular story, we will be taking place on a planet called Mistral. The planet of Mistral is a gigantic planet, battered by winds. And about 400 years ago, there was a terrible windstorm that covered the entire planet, kicked up dust from the ground, put dust up in the atmosphere, led to a bit of an ice age, killed off many livestock, forests, many people died. And in the centuries between then and now, there's been a lot of recovery. In the 4 major kingdoms, life is pretty much returned to normal. Beyond those kingdoms, things are in various states of disrepair. Around the countryside, there are ruined kingdoms, ruined cities, ruined towers, ruined forests, and places that are starting to be revitalized. The 4 kingdoms are building roads to reconnect the kingdoms to each other, and also building ancillary roads that are meant to connect the communities all around. In one of these kingdoms, known as Rosedale, the ruling prince has just announced a grand tournament in celebration of his father, the ill king's birth. Birthday. He's been alive for a while. He wasn't just born. And it's a bit of an open secret that the real reason for this tournament is to revitalize the area, to make the roads a little bit safer, fill them up with adventurers, to bring a lot of money into the kingdom and finance this increased road building. The 4 players have received word of this tournament and have decided for their own reasons to begin attending it. And on one of those very roads that is being rebuilt in order to support the increased life here on Mistral, our adventure opens up. Everybody, thank you again for being here. We're going to step into the myths of Mistral now.
So ominous.
So, our scene opens in a very typical inn. A farmer who was on his way to the tournament, bringing a cart, stopped in an inn for a night, and met the night before a very curious fellow, a short, gnomish-like man who seemed non-threatening, seemed very nice, seemed very friendly, and through a series of stories, a series of time spent together, this farmer with the cart decided, this young gnome, I think I will bring him with me to the tournament. I will give this gnome a ride. This gnome now wakes up bright and early in the morning and climbs himself onto the caravan, ready to depart to the tournament. Feelix, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh dear. Hello, everyone. Oh boy. I'm excited for a great adventure, or vacation, whatever it is. But my schedule's open. It usually is. Anyways, my name is Feelix Dinkeldime. I know these lands well. I'm a florist by profession, but, well, my workload has been generally light lately. It usually is. Anywho, I'm always up for an expedition, as long as it's not too dangerous.
And Feelix scampers into the cart, his short little legs not quite touching the ground, but it's something he's accustomed to. He's able to settle in comfortably nonetheless, sitting there waiting for a while as the farmer continues to load up the caravan. And in comes a second person, someone the farmer had actually met that morning. Someone who woke up very early, spent the morning out in front of the inn, practicing his martial arts, reattuning himself with his order and his ways. And there's something vaguely appealing about someone that committed to their ways, and this farmer took notice of him. They had a nice conversation, finding out that this young monk was also on his way to the tournament. The farmer decided, hey, I've got an extra spot for you on my caravan. Would you like to join as well? So Feelix, sitting on the caravan, looks over and sees another stranger coming on, a human by the name of Anam. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I have walked many roads to get here. I have departed my old ways, guarding the ancient ruins of my kingdom. And I have been led here, with good reason, I assume. My good friend. Short one, what is your name?
I am Feelix. Dinkeldime is my last name. It's nice to meet you.
It's good to be here, my friend Dinkeldork. Thank you for allowing me to...
That was a good one. I've never heard that one before. You must be a comedian by profession?
Well,
You see, that was my joke.
Oh, you're calling me on... Okay, I
Yes,
understand.
maybe you can be my apprentice. That was another joke. I'm on fire today, as they would say.
And the farmer finishes loading up his cart, climbs onto the horse, and kind of leans back and looks at the two of you like, You guys ready to go? You got anything in the inn you want to get before we head off? I want to get onto the roads before they get too busy. You all good? He kind of points at the both of you.
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
I require very little in the tangible realm. I'm ready.
Awesome. We're all very proud of you. Sit tight. Leave your arms and legs in the vehicle, please. I don't want to be responsible for any injuries, all right? I'll get you there as soon as I can. He hits the horses, and the cart just kind of starts going away. We'll transition into our carriage journey music now. Okay, good, it worked. I was afraid it wouldn't. There we go. And the carriage starts off at a little bit of a slow pace, but eventually picks up. You feel it kind of rumbling as you go. You see many people along the road. They're all sort of on their way to the tournament as well. There are people walking. There are some people on horses. There are some people on carts, just like you. If you want to take the opportunity to share any stories with each other on the road, now would be the time.
I have not spoken much.
It's about a 2-hour road, so you got a lot of time to fill.
Oh my god. I have not spoken much over the years. I spend a lot of time in solitude. I grew up in the monastery, surrounded by many other bald folk of similar stature, unlike yourself. And I was delegated to guarding some of the ancient ruins, swept by the winds over the years of the storms experienced by generations past, and eventually woke up one day and decided my life yearns for greater purpose. I must explore the lands and not delegate myself to something so trivial as keeping safe old ruins. And so I am here. And yourself, my friend? How did you come to be here?
I suppose I should tell you all something. Some weeks ago, I was contracted to acquire some blight bloom for a client, a very rare flower. I was told when I was an apprentice never to touch that stuff, but, well, work has been light, and he offered to pay me with a beautiful gold pocket watch. I simply couldn't resist. After a few weeks, I found a specimen in a field, though one of its petals looked like it was bleeding purple. With curiosity, I touched it. It felt viscous, greasy fluid. In the moment, I thought I heard something, and by the time I looked back, the fluid was gone. I feel different now. Perhaps it's mere correlation. I'm a bit of a hypochondriac. Maybe I worry too much.
You should spend less time worrying and more time processing how you feel.
One would say they're a bit of the same thing. If you're me, at least.
And all of a sudden, the caravan sort of comes to a stop, and you feel rocked a little bit, and it jerks off over to the left, and it jerks off over to the right, and as you sort of look up to see what it is, you see another pony has come off of a side road and got itself in front of the farmer's horse and is sort of blocking the way. And as he tries to direct his horse around the pony, it sort of gets in front of the horse again, and he goes around the other way and it backs up. It's almost like it's intentionally starting to block him. You kind of peek out your heads to see what the obstruction might be, and you see this pony, and it looks like he's got like a crumpled up piece of paper in his teeth. And the moment he sees your heads pop out of the cart, he seems very excited and gives a sort of like sound at you. My horse impression.
Hold on.
I think he wants something. What should we do?
I get nervous sometimes. I'm not sure. Should we run? We should run. Horses are large, and I am not.
And the farmer up front is saying, "Hey, get out of the way! Get out of the way!" as he's still trying to get around this horse. And he's starting to succeed. His much larger horse is starting to push the pony out of the way, who's becoming more and more desperate and agitated.
You said it had something in its mouth?
Yeah, you think you see like an old crinkled up like piece of paper or something.
Well, might as well take it. See what it's all about. Examine the paper.
So you get your way out of the cart and you start moving up to the pony, and the pony now looks a lot more visually relaxed and comes up to you right away and is sort of looking at both of you, looking up at you and looking down at Feelix, and he sort of bends down a little bit and is nuzzling you with his nose, Feelix, trying to get you to take the paper out of his mouth.
Okay. I guess I should use an open palm. I don't want it to bite my finger. Oh, it's covered in goop. Oh, okay.
And Feelix decides to open it. It's in a language he doesn't quite understand. Maybe someone else could read a portion of it?
It's thankfully not written in Horse, but has a very prominent seal at the top written in Common, which says important scroll of talk with animals. And what you see written below is certainly a script that you've never seen before. You could sort of recognize the symbols, but it's words you feel like you've never spoken. You sort of show the scroll over to Anam as you're both looking at it.
I can't make much of this. I can barely read, if I'm honest. It's been years since I've read. You don't read a lot when tending to ruins.
Literacy is not my strong suit either, but maybe if I calm down a little bit, I could read it line by line. So it's an important notice. I don't really understand.
So the horse is sort of making it difficult to read as he continues to nudge the note as you're just trying to make it out. And the words, again, don't make much sense to you, and you're just kind of reading them out, sounding out the words, trying to see if this human who's with you could possibly understand when you're going. And as you get to the end of the first sentence, suddenly things start to feel a little bit strange. And it's almost like the words on the page sort of smoke a little bit as they come out. And you feel almost like you're taking a great deep breath of very, very cold, very frigid air. But it's not painful, it's just kind of chilly. And then you let it out. And it sounds like you're underwater for a second. And then that feeling fades away. And then you hear, seemingly coming from in front of you, perhaps from inside the horse, this at first soft and then gradually getting louder elvish voice. Hello? Hello? Tell me you could hear me. Please tell me you could hear me.
Do you hear this too? My friend
Yes.
Feelix.
Yes, I do. Can anyone else hear that?
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so pleased. You have no idea how long I've been looking for someone like you. My name is Finither. My name is Finither Shinebright. I'm a wizard. I need your assistance. My wand was stolen from me. I need you to help recover it. Help me, please. Will you help me? And you could sort of see this horse becoming increasingly more agitated and bucking up a little bit. The farmer, who has no idea what's going on, is sort of backing up a little bit.
I think we should help this fellow, but I'm not sure how.
Perhaps we can arrange for some kind of deal, but this is happening so fast.
I could make a deal with you. Yes, I've got wondrous magic items. I don't know where you guys are going right now. Maybe there's something I could help you with that. Are you perhaps on your way to slay a dragon? Perhaps?
We were just on our way to the tournament.
I was on my way to breakfast.
I'm sorry, the tournament?
You don't know the tournament? In Rosedale, we're on the way. The prince is holding a tournament. You're all traveling.
Oh, that's why there have been so many people on the roads. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, look, I'm sure you've heard of me before, he says, looking at you, Feelix. Finither Shinebright, the transmutation expert? And he sort of leaves a pause there, waiting for your look of acknowledgement. that sort of never comes, and he continues, I'm sure you've heard of me. I've worked for the lords and the kings in the region. Why, there was a rock on this very street that I came out with my greatest creation, the wand of true polymorph. With it, I could turn creatures into objects, objects into creatures, creatures into other creatures, and I would come out here and I would marvel the lords by turning boulders into rabbits and having them scamper away, and fallen logs, turning them into birds and watching them fly, and everyone would sing my praises, and now I'm this. Now I'm stuck in this form. You need to help me. You need to let me get back into my normal form again.
This seems like heresy. I don't trust anybody that can turn things into things they aren't. Maybe it's all meant to be. Maybe you're meant to be stuck like this.
I would take anything to feel better. Maybe if we help you, you can help us as well.
Absolutely. Whatever you need, I could provide to you. Just name it. Magic? Is that what you want? Scrolls? Wands? Do you want me to transmute something for you?
Maybe you can tell us how to find a path to help you, and we can go that way. And then perhaps we'll find the help we need then.
And as you're sort of talking and negotiating, people are, walking past. The farmer's cart is sort of in the middle of the road, so people are having to walk around it a little bit, and they're kind of looking at you and, rubbernecking as they go by. And in the group of people that are going by, you see this somewhat tall, long-haired, hooded fellow who seems to be paying attention to you. And Charvande, you are walking past. You see what looks to be a perfectly normal horse looking at a perfectly normal gnome, and they are staring incredibly intently at one another, doing some kind of ritual that doesn't really seem to make sense to you, but whatever it is, it seems important. Would you like to describe yourself?
Well, hello. I am Charvande, but you guys can call me Charvande for short. I am... Well, right now that doesn't matter right now what I am, but I have, my lovely red locks. And I am... How do I say this? I just take things and I don't care. But I'm very interested in this scenario here where both these two people talking to a horse, as far as I know. I'm curious. Who are you? I'm going to approach them.
Yes, it's a horse that certainly would make your journey a whole lot easier, and it seems not to be saddled. It's possibly a horse that you could get your hands on and make a much easier way to the tournament than the walking that you had been doing. So you go ahead and step up to the gnome and the human there.
Ahoy! Hello!
Hi, it's nice to meet you. Charvande, is it?
Yes, and wow, very interesting talent you have, considering I haven't said my name to you.
I've heard rumor of you. I'm Feelix. Much obliged.
Pleasure to meet you. And you there, Mr. You.
So I believe, although monks do frequently take vows of silence, occasionally there are...
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, well... I was testing your hearing. Apparently you can't hear me when I mutter under my breath all that well.
It's not a skill I have nailed.
Names are very trivial, but I do go by Anam when necessary.
Anam. Okay. And why are you guys talking to that horse?
And the horse kind of makes a sound, which doesn't sound like spoken English to any of the three of you.
Just a curious citizen, that's all. Huh. Okay. Excuse me.
What brings you here, Charvande?
Oh, well, I was watching. I was just on my way to the castle. Isn't that where you guys are going as well? It seems like that's where most of us are on this way.
I've heard rumor of a tournament. I was hoping to get some breakfast first, but yes, we seem to be on that way. We seem to have a journey in front of us. And perhaps we might be able to help this person retrieve their wand, I do believe.
And you see the horse suddenly, like, nodding Charvande, which seems a little bit unusual. It seems like he almost understood what that gnome said.
Did that horse just understand what I just said?
Well,
I think so.
this is the awkward part. There is a spirit trapped inside this animal, and it requires our assistance, or so it may seem.
Monks have an oath that they're not supposed to drink. So I'm compelled to believe that this is a thing. Okay.
So the horse suddenly speaks again, but Charvande, you're not able to hear it. Is this a friend of yours?
I don't know. Are you friend or foe, Charvande? What is your intent here? Why take interest in us?
Again, just a concerned citizen. And did you just ask that horse? Did that horse? Why are you? What is going on? I need you to tell me what's going on right now. I'm too curious, and this is way too weird, especially on my morning walk. What is happening?
And the horse suddenly speaks up again. Let me explain, and you could explain it to him, and then you guys can finally start helping me, and I could get out of this form. My apprentice, his name is Ahmed Noak. I was working in my study, and he appeared one day, pointing my rod of true polymorph at me, and I began to ask him what he was doing, but before I could even get the words out, it just came out in a whinny and in a neigh. And he forced me to stay in this form for the last 2 years in a prisoner in my own garden, eating my own grass. Well, he and his stupid orc would live in my own house, and I need you to get that wand back for me.
Perhaps we should...
Yes, go ahead, Feelix.
I was going to say, perhaps we should go towards your house and see if Ahmed is still around.
You mean you'd be willing to help me then?
I personally would. Maybe we should take a vote. Dragonkin, you're so silent.
So
What
Dehli is not here yet.
Oh, experiencing delusions again. This has been going on for a while now. First, I'm talking to horses. Now I'm imagining Dragonborn. And third, boy, I sure could use some pancakes right now. Maybe we can go grab a bite to eat and then continue forth.
What I just heard absolutely made me famished. And I'm both very interested, and I feel very much connected with you two already. I feel like I could make a lot of money. I mean, I will be making a lot of good friendships with you. Let me take you out for food. Let's revel in this new friendship, shall we?
Hooray!
And so the farmer with the cart is there, just kind of looking at the three of you and looking at the horse and saying, like, you want me to just get going? You want to? Are you guys good here? Are you fine? Should I go? I'm just gonna go. Should I go? I'm just gonna go.
No. You horse. What's your name? I can't hear him. but I'm assuming you were about to leave, and I couldn't hear that, but so I'm taking you with me anyway. Come.
And you hear sort of a gruff, "Hey, what are you doing with my horse?" And out from the side path, from the same direction that the horse came, comes this half-orc. And he's holding he's kind of got a battle axe sheathed in the side of his hip that he's sort of leaning on a little bit. And on a leash, he's got 3 attack dogs that are coming. Right behind him, you see this shadowy, cloaked figure all in black with this sort of hood up. You can't really see his face. And the half-orc comes up and says, "You found my horse. I'll go ahead and take it back now. Thank you."
Oh, no. You must be understood. This is actually a human or a person of some kind. You see, it can speak. Please speak. Clearly, there's a misunderstanding here. First,
Yes, little one. He's a talking horse. I'll be taking my horse back now.
Now, I'm afraid that can't happen. We've cut a deal with this horse, you see.
You've cut a deal with my horse.
Correct. Yes. Your horse is in dire need, and we have decided to make a trade of sorts. So if you'll excuse us, we're
Okay.
going to
All
throw you-
right. I'll tell you what. Why don't I make a trade with you? All right. For every word you give me out of your mouth, I give you a cut on your body with my great axe. How about that?
I don't want to hurt anyone today. Please, just let's all forget this happened.
And
the
he's
horse
sort of
can
like shaking the leashes and getting the dogs a little bit agitated. You notice all 3 of the dogs making direct eye contact with the horse, too. It seems very purposeful.
My friend Feelix, I think we have a scuffle on our hands here. Do you know how to fight?
I have an idea. Just pay attention, okay? There's going to be something that's going to happen when I get upset or angry as of late. I seem to notice that there's a flicker of light in certain places, or a small flame, a foul odor that can appear near me. I have a feeling. Try to taunt him some more. It'll make me more angry, and then I think I can... This is so new. I don't know how to do this. Just try to agitate him, and I have my walking stick here. Perhaps I can protect you while you do it, but just be ready. Taunt him.
I think our friend on the red hair has something to say.
It's a very gentleman. As I kind of walk in.
he kind of
I
eyes
understand. Your passion is high. Correct? This is your prized possession. This horse must mean the world to you, correct?
It does. It's mine.
Really? How did you happen upon it?
Are you questioning that it's my horse, little man?
I was curious. What if I wanted to get one myself? Can you just tell me where you got it?
The horse was given me by my master Ahmed Noak as a gift.
Ahmed. What an interesting name.
Well, yes, he's a very well-known transmutation expert in this part.
I would like to bluff and say that I'm like a really good friend of his, and he should back off.
Okay, go ahead and roll a deception.
Okay, and now what am I?
So you'll roll a 20-sided die and add to that whatever bonus you have in deception.
17.
Okay, and what are you saying?
What am I saying to him?
Yes.
I'm saying that I am a very, very good friend of Ahmed, and that you shouldn't be like talking to me that way, and that's why I have influence, and that why I should keep this horse.
And he kind of looks at you a little bit doubtfully and says, "All right, fine. Look, if you know Ahmed, that's great. But I'll still be taking my horse back. I need to get back to the compound, and I'm gonna ride it there. Alright? And he sort of slips his battle axe out of the holster now. And he's sort of holding it in front of him. At this point, a woman who's walking past has seen the battle axe kind of come out, and, you know, being held by a half-orc, it's a little bit scary. She sort of gives a little bit of a scream and starts running in the other direction, starting to panic a little bit of the people on the road.
So Feelix is starting... he's starting to get increasingly nervous, and he's starting to visibly sweat, visibly shake. He can feel that the taunting that's going on isn't exactly like going super well, and he's starting to focus in on a like a pile of hay, a large pile of hay actually, right behind the person with the dark hood, and you can feel his focus becoming increasingly strong as he's trying to find a way to find some resolve to either fight or flight. It's like the fight or flight response doesn't quite work for him because he's so crippled by anxiety and nervousness. So I'd like to see if via prestidigitation I can maybe he can, through force of will, just get a fire going across because of his laser focus that's going on at the moment.
Sure. So on this sort of tree-lined path, there's plenty of sort of fallen debris and stuff for you to get as kindling. And through your focus, you know, you just sort of feel the pine needles sort of rubbing against each other, and you sort of envision in your mind the smoke beginning to rise out of it. And the more you visualize it, the more that kind of vision begins to become reality as this small fire suddenly starts to grow behind the hooded figure. And sort of hearing its cracking and smelling the smoke come up, the hooded figure looks behind him and sees it and sort of like haunches over in this almost like bestial sort of way and like moves away from it really quickly, seemingly surprised. The orc hasn't really noticed it, and neither of the three dogs really seem to care, but the hooded figure kind of is looking back and forth between it and you guys now. And as this is happening, the people continue to run down the road, and a white dragonborn, clad in an immaculate-looking chainmail, sat on a horse that is perhaps not the most well-trained horse, not a war horse at all. So seeing these people running is sort of bucking and not being steady at all. So you, Dehli, step off your horse and begin to go forward to see what the commotion is. Would you like to describe yourself?
It's me, Dehli. You haven't heard of me, nor will you ever. Because I am well, yeah, I talk to the right people, but if you have to ask them, it's too much. I'm a trained warrior from far away, where pretty much, if you come across me, you better be ready. I'm a white dragon. Those don't come around very often. I don't know where I'm from. All I know is I'm here to serve and protect all around me. Now, what is the commotion here? And what is keeping me from moving forward?
So you're sort of walking up now, and you're about, 10, 15 feet away from the others as you see this sort of, like, really aggressively postured orc, sort of holding his weapon, while this gnome, is looking a little bit panicked, but a little bit focused, and there are two humans around him and a couple horses that seem a little bit uncomfortable as well. The others haven't heard you coming from behind them yet. But the orc kind of sees you out of the corner of his eye and looks up, and he sees the way you're sort of walking over to them and says, "Hey, pale skin, this is no business of yours."
Excuse me?
Oh my, it's the authorities. Hello, it's good to meet you. I'm Feelix.
Hold on. What did you call me?
Pale skin. You got an issue with it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good.
No, this is not good. We should run. There's a fire.
There's something.
Fire?
There's something you may not know about me. I don't know who these people are, but you're holding me from getting to my destination, and that is not okay. Can you explain to me? I look back at the gnome Feelix. What's happening, and how do I get this to stop now?
Well, it's kind of funny. You see, apparently today I learned how to speak with horses. That's a story for a different day, I guess. But anywho, we're trying to get out of here. There's the horse needs something. It needs. I know it sounds crazy, but we're on an adventure, and this orc is threatening us, and there's a fire, and I don't know what to do. And
Can I lean over and whisper something in his ear?
Yes.
Like just casually?
Into Dehli's here?
Into, yes, Dehli's ear.
Okay.
Hey, Dragonborn, I heard. No, listen to me. that orc called you filthy. I heard it with my own 2 ears.
Plain.
It looks like you have 3. Anyway, so I'm not. I have no idea what the little Norm said. I started talking and I halfway fell asleep. There was lots of. I got confused. Can we move this along? Does this horse belong to you? Can you?
All
prove
right,
this to me?
the orc finally says, I'm done with the gnome's lies and the human's deceptions and this white one's filth. And he sort of drops the leashes on the dogs as the dogs begin to start going toward the Shinebright, the horse. And you see the shadowy figure behind as the orc sort of looks over his shoulder and gives the go-ahead. He lowers his hood, and you see quite sensibly why it was so difficult to see his face while the hood is up, because he is, in fact, completely black. He's a panther, and as that cloak drops, he sort of goes down onto all fours and kind of goes as he begins to move towards you. Everyone, roll for initiative.
Quite a predicament we're in, aren't we, boys?
It's kicking off.
Gnome, I ask again, do you know how to fight?
I put the stick in the body. Yes. This can't be that hard. I
Good
can
enough.
defend myself.
You'll do great. I see
So
great things.
go ahead, everybody, and roll a 20-sided die. Add to that your initiative modifier, and give me the result.
The 8.
Dehli, you got
9.
8?
Yeah.
9. Wait, no. Oh, wait. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13.
13?
Yes.
Felix?
Well, the number I have is higher than the feet I am tall. I've rolled a 4.
Still counts. And Anam?
I have 6. 6.
6 total?
Yes.
What did you roll?
A D20. I got 3. Add 3. 6.
Oh, do you only had 3? Oh, my notes here are wrong. 6 it is. All right. So let's switch on over to here. Ah, cool. Cool. So those are all the members.
As I hear the conversation between Anam and Feelix, I kind of look at them and shake my head and I mutter under my breath. If these guys get themselves killed, I'm not going to live this down.
Yes.
So, in terms of positioning, you're all kind of scattered around that wagon still. Charvande, you're closest to Shinebright, the horse. You're kind of there next to him. And the three, they're mastiffs, the dogs that the orc has, are there in front of him. And then that shadowy figure, the panther, is behind him as well. And the mastiff immediately, the tan one, immediately sort of moves forward and tries to get himself as close to Shinebright as possible. And sort of makes a little bit of a nip at him. He doesn't go directly for his throat, but sort of makes a nip at his foreleg. And Shinebright just kind of, moves his leg out of the way, and it completely misses. And the panther from the back stalks its way in, and leaps out at you, Anam. You're the closest one to him. He kind of charges from behind and leaps like right over the shoulder of the orc, just kind of coming at you with his claws out. And what is your AC?
15.
15. So that will hit you.
Oh no.
It's 16 actually. I
So bad news. That will still hit you. Nice try though.
I mean 17.
Let's keep going.
And
Go at your 20.
he just sort of like spreads his claws and comes right at you, and at the very last moment before he hits you, it looks like he's coming at you with his left paw, but he kind of swipes suddenly down with the right, catching you pretty hard across the front of your chest. That'll do 5 points of damage.
Okay.
You're going to make this. We care about you. Stay strong. I think.
You just met me.
And then the
Yes,
two...
well, you're all I have right now.
All right.
I like you.
You
and then
just
the two other mastiffs charge at Shinebright as well, and they'll both try to nip at him. The first one will hit, and you see the dogs are kind of circling around Shinebright, sort of nipping at the leg. One manages to get just sort of a little nip on his leg, not hurting him too badly, but you could hear him kind of like out of the way a little bit. And that third mastiff will go in there and sort of make a bite, but, Shinebright's moving around a lot, so he's very hard to hit. But they're sort of in a little bit of a dance now. You guys rolled terribly for your initiative. No offense.
I know.
And then the orc comes in. He's actually going to go after you as well, Anam. So he now sort of pulls back this axe and takes a swing, and he's not messing around. He's going directly for your throat. But you're seeing it coming. Dude's hulking. Dude's pretty slow. He takes a swing, and you're just kind of able to duck out of it without too much difficulty. He's a little bit slow, a little bit lumbering. Charvande, you are up. You've seen now, it just kind of came with a surprise. Like, the orc kind of just, dropped the leash, pulled his weapon out, and the dogs just go straight for the horse, the panther, and the orc straight for Anam, the monk you have just met. And, you haven't even had the chance to react yet. But now you kind of feel it. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna exhale and say, "Damn." Yeah. I'm now faced with this choice. I've just met these folks, and I've sort of felt attached to them. I mean, we just had a conversation with a horse I can't hear, but I believe them. Right? I see this little innocent gnome who is having the worst anxiety attack I've ever seen, and it kind of brings me back to when I was with my family, and this is in lore. When I was a runaway kid, and this is all going through my head at once, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to try and save these guys. I like them. So right away, I kind of pull out my bow and arrow, which is pretty much easy to get, and I take a shot at it was the orc, because I hate his attitude.
Fair.
I'm trying to really, I want to hurt him. I want him to feel some pain. So we're going for a good shot and some damage.
Okay. So, owing to your, roguish reflexes, you're able to get that bow and that arrow out real quickly, and you loosen up an arrow and release it, trying to hit him right in a weak part of his leather armor. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Sure. That's a 14.
That will hit. Just
Nice.
barely, though. And go ahead and roll damage on that.
6.
Oops, I forgot to be showing your abilities while you were there.
Now wait,
What an
14. That's 14. Don't I get a bonus as well?
oversight. You rolled 14 raw?
Yes.
Yeah, so you would get to add that. So you hit even more then.
Yeah.
Well done. But yes,
Thank
you would get to add your dexterity and your proficiency bonus to it.
Wait, so both my proficiency and my dexterity, it's not like 8? What?
No, it should be like
Zero.
4 total that you're adding. Your proficiency
Okay, yeah,
would
4
be
total.
2.
That's what. Yeah, I see that now.
Okay.
4. Yeah. Okay.
So the arrow just kind of sings through the air. It's like fletching, sort of ruffling as it just through the cold morning air, and it catches the orc just like in the left armpit, right under his leather pauldron there, and he kind of and like looks at you, just like rage in his eyes. All right, Shinebright will just sort of meekly back up. He's going to try to, as much as he can, sort of get you guys between the animals and the orc and him. So he just kind of like backs up a little bit to get on the other side of the caravan and is like, trying to play dodge with them. All right, Dehli.
Basically, Shinebright is the Magikarp of our adventure right now.
Yes.
It's not effective.
Nope.
I love it.
These dogs are going, like, they're sort of focused on going after the Shinebright, right?
They are, yeah.
Okay. So, I guess I'm going to focus on the closest one. But essentially, I reach very slowly to my sword and my shield, and I mutter to myself, I'm getting way too old for this. And kind of just very, very elderly, I go to both my shoulder to grab my shield and my sword, but like once I touch them, I would say pretty masterful. They both come out and I get into a stance real quick, as I'm a veteran, and I lunge forward at the closest mastiff to me.
Okay.
With my longsword.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack.
24.
That will definitely hit. And your damage?
11.
All right. So, you slip your weapon in your hand, you slip your shield in your other hand. It's comfortable. It's like putting on gloves. They're your own friends, and you've dealt with things much more skilled than dogs before, and as this dog with just its eyes still focused on Shinebright is just going straight for it, you kind of take this opportunity and in just, not even with very much flourish, just like it's a well-executed strike, just bring your sword down right on the side of the Mastiff, and it just cuts in real deep, and the Mastiff doesn't even make a sound. It just kind of topples over onto its side, just like, on the ground, and the momentum that it was running with kind of carries a little bit as it skids along the dirt. But it's fallen dead. And Anam,
Let's go.
Let's go, buddy.
you've now had two very angry critters come right at you. One with a claw wound right across your chest, and the other just barely missing taking your head off.
Yeah, that's pretty painful. I'm a little peeved. I'm a little agitated at this panther here. I think what I want to do is as my bonus action, I want to punch the orc in the face, give him the good old like left hook, the left hook, like boom, and then take the quarterstaff and like bam right in like the underbelly of the panther, just wham, and like try to push him away from me.
Nice. Okay, so let's start with that punch. Go ahead and roll the attack for that.
Okay, that is 17.
Yes, that will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, damage is 1d4 plus 3. That's 4.
Not too bad. So you pull back with your left fist. He came at you with his axe, intending to catch flesh, but he just kind of whiffed it, went over your head. The momentum kind of carries him forward a little bit, and you use that to your advantage, just kind of catching a quick jab up into his stomach, and he sort of like, and the breath gets knocked out of him for a second there.
Yeah.
And he's looking not too good about that. You hit him in the stomach, and a little bit of blood gets coughed up out of his mouth while you do it, but you're off to the side, so it just kind of misses you. So it's a moment of like, yeah, that's what I did. right, and then go ahead and make your quarterstaff attack as well.
Okay. 22.
That will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
That is 5.
All right, so owing to your, great monk training, you're pretty solid with those weapons. You get that punch in, you pull your quarterstaff back too, and jab that into the panther. And the panther completely not expecting that. You catch it in an unprotected spot. It's surprised a little bit and will bounce back a little bit, but it looks visually damaged, and it looks visually very upset as well. It's sort of this like surprise mixed with just like pure feline rage.
Got him.
All right, Feelix.
Okay. Let's see. Brian, do you mind centering my camera a little bit more? It's kind of like cutting off my head.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I will center the camera just like this. Okay. So Feelix is kind of like everything around him is just panic and it's fear, and he is sweating, but he's finally found the resolve to actually fight. So although he is a little bit panicked, he grabs his walking stick, it's like a quarterstaff. But as he knows it is, he uses it. It's his walking stick for when he's on adventures. So he kind of shakily grabs it. The sweat on his hand is, his grip is kind of weak, but he finds the resolve to kind of really press in, hold it, pull it out, and decides to attack the nearest enemy to defend himself with his walking stick, his quarterstaff.
Let's see. You're right next to Anam, so probably both the orc and the panther are right there. You could probably get in a hit on either of them. I would say the orc is probably a little bit closer to you if you want to do the absolute closest.
So to roll for a hit, I roll a d6 or
d20 to see if you hit. D20 and then add your attack bonus.
D20.
Which would be your strength, which I believe would be 0 plus your proficiency. Nope,
Yeah,
sorry, your
so-
strength would be 1 plus your
My
proficiency.
strength, I think my strength is 0. My proficiency is 2.
Okay.
So, okay, cool. I rolled a 9. So we add 2,
Yes.
so 11.
So you sort of pull back with your quarterstaff and make a plunge up into that orc, kind of closing your eyes as you do it, and kind of it just hits a little bit in his armor and just gets a little bit stuck there. He doesn't seem too bothered by it. You hit in the same spot that Anam's punch hit in, but he doesn't seem too terribly bothered. Looks like it just kind of bounced off his armor.
Oh no.
All right, that mastiff is dead. Okay, so that the panther now sort of recoiling from that quarterstaff hit will get like a look of frustration with you again, Anam, and just comes straight at you. This time just sort of lunging forward with its teeth. It's trying to make a bite attack at this point. And that will hit. Doing... Oh! So it comes out with its claws just sort of going at a bite. You kind of dodge out of the way. It just barely catches you on the hand at the last moment. Sort of makes a little bit of a cut on the side of your hand. That'll do 1 point of damage. It's a lucky roll there. So now the other two mastiffs, sort of seeing, Dehli, what you've done, just cutting down their friend, are a little bit more reluctant. They're actually sort of looking at each other, and then looking at you, and then looking at the horse, and then looking at each other, in a way that seems a little bit atypical, but then they both start going forward toward the pony again. They're not really worried about you, Dehli. They're just really focused in on that horse. So they're going to make an attack each. The first one will miss. The second one will also miss. So they're both kind of like snapping at the horse, but they're keeping their focus on you as well, Dehli. They don't want to catch the wrong end of your sword, so they're trying to keep away, and that distraction just means they're not hitting at all.
I have a question before we proceed.
Yes.
So my strength total is 11, but the number above, which I think is the attribute modifier, is 0. So it would be 0 plus 2 plus my roll?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Perfect, yeah. So then, this half orc now, seeing Feelix, your quarterstaff, just sort of jammed up into his stomach, just kind of gives like a little through the pain and reaches back his left hand to give a backhand right into your face to knock you away. Whoop! And his fist just falls off the table, and he needs to get a different one to try. But you can see he's a little bit distracted by the pain and just kind of swings at you wildly, and you feel the breeze of it just right in front of your face, but nothing quite makes contact. Charvande.
So at this point, is Gus a real threat right now? And you... How much information?
He's still definitely coming at you. You could tell based on the way he's interacting with you, he's still going for the kill.
Damn. Okay. My friend is in danger, so I call out. Do you need help, Anam?
Please, yes. This cat is pissed.
So I flash him a quick wink, and I go ahead and I aim at the you said the panthers.
The panther.
Scaring the heck out of you. So we're going for cat dead. Face.
So you let go that first arrow into the orc, you pull back a second one right away, shift over to hit that panther, because you know it's going after your new friend, Anam here. He's a fellow human. He's the only one in this group. And he's sort of bleeding a little bit, so you see if you could use an arrow to separate them out a little bit. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Come on. 18.
That will hit. And your damage?
My damage is just unmodified, correct? I'm still trying to remember.
You get to add your dexterity modifier to it.
So that's 3.
3 total?
Yes.
So the arrow flies through the air and hits the panther sort of in the haunch a little bit, and it staggers, trying to get up to its balance. You can see its back 2 legs are kind of a little bit weak now. It's having a little bit of trouble standing on them, but it's still sort of like kind of like clawing around.
How did I do?
Very good. Masterfully executed.
And Dehli now, after flawlessly and just effortlessly taking down that first dog, you pull back your sword again and have another option. What would you like to do?
I see the other 2 dogs kind of, they notice, and I know that they notice, so I'm like, I know you saw me. And normally I would be offended, but these stupid dogs. So I just chase them down and try to strike probably the one on my right, as it's my strong side, and try in the next move, planning for the next move to go and swing to the other side. But,
all right.
For this move, the one that I guess would be, if I ran behind both of them, would be on the one on my right.
Okay, sure. So you're able to get around it and sort of make an attack to the distracted dog's rear.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Just chase him.
Yeah.
This is 7 plus 5, so 12.
That will hit.
Wow. Cool.
Yes.
Sweet. And then, all right, 13.
Okay, so you sort of get behind again and take sort of a wild thrust at one of the other dogs, and you're able to catch it just right down the side of one of its hind legs, and it sort of topples to the ground and sort of tries to move around for a little bit, but it's just losing blood way, way too fast and very quickly sort of fades into unconsciousness. You're earning a dog killer reputation for this one. I guess I'm sort of making you do it, so I can't put
What
it on
else
you.
is new?
Anam, you're bleeding now. You're bleeding, but that panther that came at you is looking really wounded. An arrow's in its side now. That orc is looking pretty angry, and he seems to be distracted with the gnome next to you. How are you going to handle this?
Tough decision. Well, the orc has proved incompetent, so perhaps beneath my ability to to squeeze the life out of him. The panther, though, I'm not enjoying this wave of damage. He's got to go. Panther's got to go. We're gonna take the quarterstaff and we're gonna like slam it down his head. Just like take it. I'm mad, man. I am mad.
So now knowing that orc isn't on you anymore, you don't need to keep a free hand for it. You just double hand with that quarterstaff, just ready to bring it right down.
Let's get him. That is 16 plus 5, 21.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 6. Wait, 9.
9. And as you bring that quarterstaff down, you just hear a sickening crack and sort of like a reverberation through the quarterstaff. And for a moment, you have this, you have hope sort of fall at you, thinking oh no, this is it. I just broke my weapon over this panther's head. And then you notice that it's actually the skull of this panther that is just now completely caved in. And just the tip of your staff caught it perfectly and just smashed it in. The quarterstaff that you have actually hits the ground, so you go through the skull into the ground. And it's not a sound you're used to hearing, but it's one that you find familiar to the last time that you dropped a very ripe watermelon.
I need an adult before we continue.
And the panther is just kind of stationary now.
I am satisfied.
So Feelix, you've just seen this.
And there seems to be nothing left but the orc himself, am I right?
There is also one more mastiff as well.
Okay. So Feelix kind of... Oh, by the way, I think my strength is incorrect on the character.
Yes, yeah, we'll fix that.
We'll fix that stuff later. He sees everything that's going on, and the panther just went down. People are injured. He has fresh memory of the walking stick not being very effective against the ogre, but still is filled with resolve that he can still defend himself right now. He's becoming a little bit more calm, but also a little bit more panicked at the same time. He doesn't really know how to feel, so he's looking around, looking for a target, and he sees the other brown mastiff. So he still has this quarterstaff and decides to kind of go for a lunge because he just doesn't really know how to use it yet. Doesn't know whether to whack with it or how to do it, but just going to go for a lunge here.
Fair enough. So jousting a little bit as fast as your legs can take you, just kind of rushing toward the dog with your quarterstaff out.
I have rolled a 16.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Okay. I've rolled a 6.
Great. So you
+2.
Run it into the dog, and the dog is focused on Shinebright primarily, also kind of keeping its periphery on this dragon that has taken down 2 of its friends, and it just does not even see you coming. You just kind of hit it, just running full force, and you go back a little bit, it goes back a little bit, just the force kind of knocks you apart. But the dog definitely takes the worst of it, catching a point right in the side, and it sort of falls down onto its side and scrambles back up again real quickly. But it is clearly quite hurt.
I guess that would be a crit, right? Because it's the highest roll possible on the die, or...
Oh, did you roll a natural 20 on the die?
No, I rolled a...
Oh.
So quarterstaff is a...
Right. No, a crit would only be if you roll a 20 on the attack.
Oh, okay. Cool, just checking.
The highest roll you could get on the damage roll is just you do a lot of damage.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, I got the highest amount, so that feels good.
Yeah.
He did max damage, so that's just as good, really.
Yep.
And then this mastiff who you've just hit and knocked down, it kind of looks up. It kind of looks at the horse, and it looks at the orc, and you see it just kind of and turn around. And it just starts hobbling in the other direction, leaving the rest of you behind. Gets about, as far as it can into the clearing, not even turning around to look behind. Let's see, but the half-orc still in the battle here, and he's not happy. He's just missed with this swing on this gnome who turned around and looked in the other direction, and he's just kind of looking around for another target, and he sees you again, Anam, and he just comes straight right at you again with a rush, attacking down with his great axe in a complete rage. And he misses. He misses. So he's running at you, and he's just, you could see like almost froth begin to foam at the corner of his mouth. His eyes go quite literally red. I mean, surrounding the pupil, it's just redness in him. And it's a face that knows nothing but pure rage. It's just contorted with anger and pain, and he comes at you with that great axe and swings. But you're used to it. You know, you're used to big brutes coming at you. So you're able to, even in your wounded state, just kind of twist and block away. And Charvande.
Okay. Now, just a quick note.
Yes.
To use my sneak attack, I need to roll high, correct?
To use your sneak attack, you need to have an opportunity where you're rolling with an advantage. So you can actually do that because of your abilities if you're engaged with a creature who's engaged with someone else. So for right now, because the half-orc is with Anam, if you come up and engage him too, since you're both in melee range, you'll get a sneak attack.
Okay. So a sneak attack on the half-orc, correct?
Yes.
And then, okay, and then that's 2 attacks on, can I do it on 2 different, I want to get Guz, and I also want to take out the pupper.
So
Can I do that?
Don't call it that. That makes it worse.
the pupper is a little bit too far away, so you'd have to do a ranged attack with it. So you couldn't use your 2 short swords. So you would probably have to do the orc with your short swords, or the dog with your short bow.
Okay, you know what? Sneak attack. Ooh, yes. I'd like to do a sneak attack on Guz, and if I get a killing blow, I want to be able to say something.
Okay.
Very,
All right.
very.
So
unpleasant.
now with this orc just in a blind rage coming at the monk, he's completely not paying attention to you, so you're able to drop your bow and unsheath your 2 short swords and kind of come up behind him. Go ahead and roll an attack roll. And actually, he's enraged right now, which means when he attacked, he was able to roll at an advantage, which means he rolled 2 d20s and took the highest. It also means that anybody who's attacking him also rolls at an advantage. So you get to roll here 2 d20s and pick the highest one.
Also
Okay, in
means
this
that if we miss our roll, we're gonna be minus 50 DKP, and then we're gonna have to do this whole
Right.
thing over.
There's many, many
Fantastic.
whelps coming up.
13 and 12.
Did you add your bonus to it?
No. So
You will hit.
13.
You will hit.
No.
So go ahead and roll damage plus your sneak attack. So normal damage plus another d6.
So okay, so that's 1d6. So it's both 1d6 piercing.
Yes. Plus that sneak attack. Oh. Sorry, what?
So I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So you're saying plus
Another d6.
plus another d6. 5.
Okay. So a total of 6, which is good.
Total of 6.
Which is good. Which is good. So
Okay.
yeah, you're able to get up behind him, and owing to your rogue training, you sort of very quickly assess his back, looking for the let's see, there's a little bit of leather there, there's a little bit of lung. So you know that great weak spot to go, and you get ready to thrust your short sword in, and you're gonna take him down. So how would you like to take him down?
I want to clasp my hand across his mouth, and I just want to drive it into his back, and I want to say, do you know, the whole time I lied
Wow. Really driving that
about
stake home.
those horses. I'm not sorry.
So
Captain Personnel.
Gus, with this just angry look in his eye coming down on the monk, suddenly feels your hand slip around his chin and your sword push its way into his back. And in this sort of surprised, scared moment, he kind of looks around as he sees your face sort of come over his shoulder, and you taunt him a little bit. And he looks like scared and surprised in his eyes. The red in it slowly starts to fade, and he begins to get normal eyes again, and then those even fade a little bit. And you feel his very heavy orc body just start to go limp in your arms. You just kind of let him fall onto the ground and bring your sword out.
And I flash a kind of half smile to my my monk friend.
Stone cold killer.
It's a lot to process.
Well done!
Oh,
You guys just won your first session, first campaign combat. Congratulations.
Gee.
Oh.
I barely made it out.
So as the dust begins to settle, Shinebright is sort of looking around, panicked, and says, "You killed them? You killed all of them?"
not killed, dispatched, if you want.
Call it what it is. They're dead. Except
is-
for the one dog.
Who are you guys talking to?
This is
Oh.
what happens when you delay my breakfast.
I think I have some treats in my bag. I have like beef jerky. Do you like that? Would you like some?
And were you talking to the horse or were you talking to Feelix?
Who's having the anxiety? I thought it's
That would be Feelix.
Felix
The
is
horse
having
is very
anxiety attack,
self-centered
yes.
and just assumes
That's a
whenever there's
valid
beef jerky
question.
on the line, it's directed to him. Apologies.
So I have
That's the
I
valid
have the snacks in my kit. Can I give that to him?
Sure.
Yeah. Here, it's not it's not a lot, but it might the salt might offset the anxiety a little bit. It's my favorite snack, but you can have some.
Would you happen to have any first aid in that kit? Because it's not every day I get raked across the chest.
By the way, thank you. Real quick, before we move on, which way do I hold it? Just kidding. I know how to use this. Just joshing you there. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of smile at the surprise. I'm like surprised that he tossed that jest out, and I kind of grin.
So as the battle kind of ends, I get up, I brush my shoulders off a little bit, and I go, "So, does somebody want to fill me in what's happening here?"
And you see, Dehli, you see the horse has gone over to the orc that has fallen and is sort of sniffing around it and sort of using its nose to nudge articles of clothing aside, which you recognize as not typical horse behavior. And then it sort of saunters back over to you again.
We have a talking horse, apparently. Dehli.
It's not a talking horse. It's temporarily he is temporarily a horse. You see.
Finithir Shinebright is my name, you hear the horse suddenly say.
Yeah.
The horse's name is Thinithir. I believe he's looking for the wand that wasn't on the orc's body, unfortunately.
Not surprised by this. I'm just like, oh, okay. Can I leave you? Can I really trust you guys to not get into any more trouble? I'm kind of headed that way.
No, you cannot trust us, and that's why you should come to breakfast with us, and we can talk about this.
What kind of breakfast?
Oh, come on, lighten up. We're going to get some waffles. Let's go.
Do they contain worms? I like worms.
Of course. I'm sure we could make that arrangement.
Worms are good.
Let's celebrate.
Juicy ones.
So the horse, now sort of not paying attention to you, is sort of catching his breath and getting down the anxiety that he might have felt during the battle. And it's like, so are these all your friends? Are you all going to help me then? I need to get this wand.
Meanwhile, I'm just slowly going because I love horses, and I lost my dear Cheval in when I ran away from home years ago. And strangely enough, you remind me of Cheval. I just go because I can't hear you. I'm just like, what a beautiful horse. I shall ride this one to town. And I just kind of gleefully attempt to jump up on top.
I
ahead
don't
and
think
roll-
it's not for writing it.
Go ahead and roll an animal handling.
Quick question:
Yes.
Can I hear? I can hear the
You
horse.
cannot
right?
hear the horse, no.
Cannot. That's right. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm unsurprised that you guys are hearing a talking horse, but I'm
Right.
just like, I don't.
Okay.
What's happening?
So, animal handling is of 1. So, that is a 17.
17.
Yes.
So as you're petting Shinebright, you can tell he's sort of like a little bit agitated, but also strangely kind of likes it. It kind of feels good. And as you go up to jump on his back, he kind of steps away a little bit, but you sort of kind of get your way on, and he's kind of like moving around, and you could hear him say, "Get this human off of my back.
And
Get him off of my back."
And I also have more beef jerky, just a little bit, where I just kind of offer it to the horse with just nilly, just saying, Cheval loved beef jerky.
And the pony just kind of timidly takes it, and you, Feelix and Anam, can hear him say, like, "This is really good, but you need to get this human off my back."
Sir, my friend Charvande, you understand this horse is not a horse, you see.
I am Finither Shinebright. Tell me that.
It
He will
has-
recognize
it
my
has a
name.
name.
Everyone knows who I am.
It's Thin Beard Shinelight. You know, you've heard this name before.
And the
Not,
You know
horse is
what?
kind of like,
not familiar.
So as I, gently pet my horse, I kind of look over at you and said, "Listen, we just fought a horrible, horrible war. We just did a whole. I'm tired, and I think the least we can do is have our friend here give me a ride to town. Yes."
I don't think it would agree. I would hate to speak on behalf of said Thinbeard, but you can see he's indisposed.
and
Can't
Finither
quite
says,
hear him, though.
"Look, just tell the human, if he helps me get my wand back, I'll teleport him wherever he wants to go. Just get him off my back."
I don't hear a word he's saying. It's like he's not talking at all. You could be making this up for all I know.
Look, Rogue, human to human. Okay. All right. Human to human. Where have you ever wanted to go? Close your eyes and picture the most, beautiful landscape. Where are you? You can go there. If you get off the damn horse. Sorry, if you get off the Finthier. If you get, just use your own 2 feet. You have your legs. They work fine. I just saw them work.
As the monk is talking, his voice kind of, warbles and blurs away as I start to actually imagine where I'd want to be. So he's talking, all of a sudden, I'm just like, and I start talking just with the sun caressing my face just right as I look up, and I go, I want to be in a place far, far away where the land is purple and full of like-minded individuals who enjoy what I like to do for a living. And there'll be other vendors there, also very interested in what we're doing. Black market, of course. Ah, yes. Take me there. Could be a ticketed event. I don't know. But that's a dream. And I'm kind of like talking, and I just kind of went, why am I on the horse again? Sorry.
Yes, why are you on the horse again?
Old habits, I suppose.
And as you're imagining this wonderful scape with perhaps a tropical drink in your hand and the wind and the sun on your face, Finithur just kind of turns his head around and grabs you, not hard, just a little bit by the front of your tunic with his teeth, and just kind of rips and stumbles you onto the ground. And it doesn't hurt. You just kind of hit the ground in a heap, all illusion of this mysterious magical place that you were transported to, suddenly just replaced with the rising smell of the damp dirt around you.
I make an audible grunting laugh.
Oh my. Spicy is what I might describe what just happened.
And Finithur kind of wheels around and says, "If you could get me my wand, if you could bring it to me and return me to my form, I will get this human transported to wherever he wants to go. I will get you guys whatever you want. I just need that wand. This scroll is going to wear off soon, and I don't have another one. This is my only chance."
I look at the horse, and I obviously not being able to understand, I kind of grab his face and I say, "I know you're in there. I can't understand you, but I'm going to not help you. These guys will help you. Okay?"
And you kind of see the horse kind of like bucking and whinnying a little bit, but it's just horse sounds to you. The other two of you, Anam and Feelix, you hear a variety of what you assume to be elven profanity.
My dear dragon-kind friend, if I may ask, what exactly do you have better to do than to help us?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
And then I just kind of kick up. Don't forget the beautiful breakfast we promised you, as I kind of skimper up. And I adjust my back and I kind of sheepishly grin at him. But more or less, I'm saying, food?
And as Charvande is saying this, Feelix is in this world of just not seeing stars, but seeing like bacon and eggs and grits, fruit bowls, and just like a huge buffet of wonder. And he's starting to kind of go into the state that he felt when he doesn't exactly realize it, but he accidentally kind of started a fire. Wonder how that's going. Well, anyways, he's kind of going into that place of frustration and nervousness and kind of like losing control a little bit. And he starts feeling something like his hand is starting to shake a little bit. And there's kind of, it doesn't look like digital or anything, because that's not like a thing in this universe, but like it starts like, if you could imagine like urban camel or something like that, kind of like little line by line shapes appearing in front of his hand. There seems to be some kind of like parchment or note paper that's starting to appear in front of him with like elvish script. There could be some kind of illusory script starting to form just through the sheer force of will of Felix's frustration and Shinebright trying to find some way to get these people to frickin' understand her. So there's I'd like to kind of like, if I can cast like illusory script.
Sure.
Okay.
So make sure you mark that as a spell you've cast today. And
As a spell I cast today?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And what do you want the script to say? And how do you want it to look to others?
So I want it to say like, it says, "Hey bimbos, yes, I'm talking to you, Charvande and Dehli. Yes, I'm in here, I'm stuck. Please listen to these two. Yes, you'll also have breakfast. I can hear everything that's going on here, but please, I'll give you what you want. You'll see I'm missing through town, Finithur Shinebright. That's me. We live in a world of magic. I'm a wizard, and I've been bamboozled. I need your help.
So this sort of long parchment with these words sort of like appearing in blue and then faded into sort of a black penmanship on it appears in Feelix's hand as he sort of shows it to all of you.
So I guess I'll roll.
You actually don't have to roll for that.
Oh, okay.
It just happens.
Nice.
Yeah,
And I can only cast it once a day? Is that the dealio?
You can cast it as many slots as you have per day, which I believe is 2. So that's all your level 1 spells. You have that many uses.
Is this legal parchment? Has this gone through the right, commandments? Is this legit? Has this been notarized? I'm not sure. I need that. I need the notification here.
I don't want you to get too caught up in the details. I
don't sign
it
anything until I know it's real.
Well, you don't have to sign anything. Just read it. It's not legally binding or anything. It's just.
I'm gonna need my lawyer. My lawyer is actually a lizard, and he'll be by later.
I just believe I believe it, but I've also am at the point of this journey where I am starving. So yes, I believe
Black
that
Market
this horse
boy. We'll get to you later.
is a wizard. You're not hungry, Dragonborn. You're not. You don't
I'm
eat.
always hungry. Really?
Let us go.
Would you like to feast on my blood? Because I'm still bleeding. There's plenty enough to go for everybody. If we could please get me some medical attention. I know
cover-
you,
I cover his
you want
mouth.
your lawyer. You want paradise. I just want to stop bleeding.
I cover his mouth and interrupt him and use lay on hands to heal him.
Okay. And I think
Hey.
you get to like straight up decide how many points you want to heal.
I think at this point I do. I can go up to my max, right? Which is I
Let's
don't
see.
remember.
You could do your paladin level times 5 per day. So 5.
So I can do 6.
Oh yes.
Okay.
And you could
so
do all of them or any amount that you'd like.
I'll do all 6.
All right. So you put your hand over his mouth and up to his wounds, and Anam, you sort of feel this. You feel sort of a cold touch from the dragon on your chest as this sort of like coldness fills in the scratches along your chest, and your wounds begin to mend and the bleeding stops and the pain sort of goes away, and you look down and you notice, other than the blood, which is soaked into your robes a little bit, there's no sign of you even being wounded at all. So you recover 6 points of hit points.
Thank you. That I appreciate it. Is that how you?
Literally, don't mention it.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. I don't talk to Dragonborn often. I don't talk to anyone often. I talk to rocks and plants and things that don't talk back. So I will just take your word for it. I'm done. We're good.
There's Tsundere and there's Danodere. And there's Sassy. So nice.
Meanwhile, I'm kind of thinking to myself, I wonder if I should just, while they're having this wonderful conversation about God knows what, if I should just hunt game for them and just kind of gather some food, and we have a fire because there's a tree that's literally on fire because of that cantrip. I'm gonna just I'm gonna kind of say, listen, my friends, we have this lovely fire, and is there plenty of game out, Brian?
I wouldn't say plenty. If you have, let's see. Yeah, you would probably be able to find something. Yeah, you would be able to feed the 4 of you.
Well, we do have dead dog. If does anyone like the taste of dog?
How hungry are you?
I'll eat anything.
Well, I am used to fasting. However, in a pinch, in a bind, I could go. It's meat. I could close my eyes and pretend it is chicken.
As he's talking, I kind of just pick up one of the dogs and I just whip him into the fire. Just whoop.
And Feelix just throws up his arms. Okay, mongrels, listen up. We're part of civilization here. There's an inn down the road. I know we're all very hungry, but let's not be irrational. Come on, let's just go there and eat like civilized individuals. And leave the dog, please.
And you see the dog's fur has now caught fire, and it's flaming a little bit in the pyre.
It's almost done.
Well,
It does smell familiar. It smells like meat. and burning
Felix
fur.
insists, then I will learn to be civil along with the rest of you.
I kind of haphazardly agree as I kind of like rip off a hunk because it's now like pretty much cooked off, and I go to I'm like chewing on it as I'm walking towards them. Have it your way then. Delicious, by the way.
How is your mouth not on fire?
I am years of training. You trained in the arts of, focus. I trained in the arts of not caring.
So there's still still sort of singed mats of fur on the piece of meat as you're eating it, and it's sort of like charred and blackened and blistered in places, but it's not the worst thing you've ever eaten. It doesn't disagree with you.
Doesn't mean it's the best, though.
That it does not mean it is the best. No.
I'm eating and you're not?
So Feelix
Come on.
reaches towards Anam and Dehli's hands as they're kind of close together. He kind of like reaches towards them and says, "Okay, holy man in sassy pants, we'll let this one devour the dog or whatever he wants to do. You're welcome to join us if you like, but it's on me. Let's go to the inn and let's get some chow." And he like reaches for your hands like kind of like innocently, platonically, like, "Come on, let's go. Like, you guys are silly. Let's do this."
To the inn!
So you're talking the inn that you came from this morning?
I don't know how far away it is, but yeah, heard rumor of like
let's see, you've gone about 2 or 3 hours in the caravan by foot. You could probably get there by mid-afternoon. It'd be about 3-4 hour walk from where you are right now.
Okay. I guess I should ask, is there anything a little bit closer?
This
Is there a drive-through? You know,
Google Maps.
Let them check Google Maps.
Anything convenient?
Uber's not going to arrive in time.
McBurger Kong, something like that.
Somebody said have it your way earlier.
Let's
Somebody
see.
must have
Let's
heard
do
I thought I saw a food
a
truck pass some.
I just want to have it my way, like they said in the commercial on the side of the tree.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check, Feelix?
Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my character sheet. My perception is 4. I rolled a 20. I actually rolled a 20, a crit.
Okay. So, ooh, I like your nice big dice.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's so big.
Let's
that.
see. So you sort of look around a little bit. You get a sense of where people are milling to or from. You're sort of at a little bit of a crossroads of 3 different roads right now. There's the main road that's going in between the 2 cities, the one that's on the way to Rosedale, and the sort of like ancillary road that has come in that connect with it, which is where the Orc and Shinebright and everyone came from. And you're sort of looking around, getting a lay on it. You know where the inn is that came behind you, You see that most of the people who are coming from that direction on the main road seem well stocked with food and seem to have like a lot of things as if they're gearing up for sort of like a longer travel. And down the side road, you see people sort of coming, sort of having a glow about them, a little bit of like the sort of sheen and sweat that you might get when you've had a rather rich meal. So based on that sort of detail, you would assume, kind of seems like maybe people might be coming from that direction, having been fed recently. Your intuition makes you think that there's an inn a little bit further that way, but you've got no idea. For sure.
Okay.
You've never seen it, you've never been there.
All right, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a walk. I've got a feeling about this one. Plus, I think we all have our schedules a little bit open today. Let's go get some food, shall we? As I start to motion towards this direction where I can feel that there is the promise of food. Oh, that promise may not be a promise at all.
Is that in the direction of the tournament, I wonder?
It is off that road. So the road that's heading toward the tournament, you would be deviating off of that and going onto a side road.
Well, at this
Dog,
point,
anybody?
I kind of just toss the haunch I was eating. It's picked dry, and I'm like, well, guys, after that intense battle, that was okay. It was a drop in the pond. We can go have some more. And in fact, I do believe that the inn in question, it has the finest roast hog in the world. And I think if we look at my sundial, if we make it before sundown, it's half off drinks.
Well, we won't find out by standing here.
Shh.
So
The
we
monk
all
speaks
agree?
the truth.
I
As
don't
I
trust
often
him,
do.
man.
I'm down if you are. Let's go.
All right, so the four of you sort of start heading down the road. The farmer that brought you, Anam, and Feelix here, long gone by this point. As soon as the battle was over, he kind of like saddled up and went off, not even saying goodbye or anything. So you start to head off down the road, and Shinebright, sort of like following behind, sort of gives out a like, so this is the direction of my house. If we wanted to go there as well, I could tell you how to get there. If you guys wanted to go in at night, that makes sense. Is that what you're doing? Or are you just going to wait until nightfall? I don't want to be a pest, but... And he sort of blinks his pony eyes.
My
And
horse
only
is
you, Anam, and Feelix can hear him sort of like... Clup, 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 clup. Sort of following behind, and you, Charvande, and Dehli just kind of see this horse following.
I kind of look at it. The horse is dancing.
No, he's expressing his desire for roast hog as well. Something about
agree.
wands. We'll get to that. Fasting is
We
part of my
are
my culture,
going
but I'm hungry, man.
to eat food.
He can.
I kind of hang on to
abilities here.
the horse's face, and I just look at it deep within its beautiful, beautiful eyes, and I say, "Keep dancing, because we are going to this inn, and you are excited, and I know it, girl. Let's go. Dance with me." And I kind of smile, I turn tail, and I gently hold the reins, but very enthusiastically. I look down at my new gnome friend, and I'm like, "Aren't you excited?"
Yes, I am.
I always keep Charvande in front of me, by the way.
That's good paladin sensing there.
Well, I'm just gonna walk ahead and pretend none of this is happening.
And I'm feeling a little torn. I'm like just like super hungry, but also I know this horse is kind of running out of like time for its transformation. So I'm having some second thoughts, or Feelix is having some second thoughts, but the power of pancakes is strong.
Well, isn't okay?
That was weird.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Isn't the direction we're heading, if we're going to get the food, isn't that also the direction of the Light Shine's place?
Shinebright? Yeah, they're both on the same road. They're both on this little side road.
Then yeah, keep walking. If we see his house, great. Maybe we can raid his kitchen. If we see something more than
Like the way you think.
even better.
I kind of turn to our friend that's lagging behind. Dragonborn, keep up. You're going. By the time you get there, the food's going to be cold.
And so Shinebright's kind of like reluctantly going along with you, knowing he doesn't really have much of a choice. It's been 2 years that he's been trapped in this horse form, and
wow.
this is his first opportunity he's had with conversing with someone other than his apprentice and the half-orc Guz in his home. So he's sort of willing to take a chance right now, and he's sort of following along with you as you make your way down the path. As you suspected, it's not actually very long until you run into the inn, although it's a little bit less nice than you would expect. Shinebright continues walking down the path past the inn, sort of like Charvande, as you've got your hand on his bridle. He's kind of just like pulling you a little bit forward past the inn as you all sort of like stop as if you have arrived where you're going.
I'm kind of resisting, and I'm kind of like smiling. I'm turning to smile to my friend, saying, "We are here." And I'm very excited to announce that I think we've made it on time for both the pancakes and the hog.
What's wrong with this guy? Why is he always acting nervous? I'm reluctant to do anything he tells me to do.
When was the last time you felt good about anything, Dehli? Tell me that. Exactly. Let's get some
Born
chat.
once.
So as you get closer to the inn, you hear this sort of out-of-tune lute being played. You don't hear a lot of music, but it's definitely not quite right. And as you walk in, you see the source of it. It's sort of this overweight but very sort of like rowdily dressed jester who's playing on this lute, sort of like sitting down, not really totally into it, kind of entertaining, which is working well for the one patron that's currently in the tavern. This just like farm wife who's sitting by herself, just kind of over a mug, just kind of sipping from it every once in a while. And then seeing you enter, the cook suddenly pops up from behind the inn and says, "Oh, hello! Can I interest you in some breakfast, you four?"
Yes, absolutely. What do you all have, and what any specials today?
Oh, you don't even want to hear the short of it. We've got the best roast pig in the land. If you're in for a little bit more of a meat, if you're looking for something a little bit more stick to your bones, we got some delicious rolled oats that we could put in some water for you. And if you're feeling a little bit adventurous, my son went out, picks the finest berries. We've got some great berry pancakes that we could serve up for you. What should I get started for you?
No berries, please.
How are the
No
worms?
berries for the dragon. You got that, Sugar. You sure? You look like you could put on a little bit of weight. And she kind of pokes you jovially in the side.
Stop that. Stop that.
All right, dear. Whatever you say. You can tell she's really trying to get on your good side.
And I have a bit of a sensitive palate. I'm a nomitarian, so I can't eat certain foods. Is this free range? And I'm sorry. I get a little nervous when I'm hungry.
Honey, don't even have worries about it. We have your kind in here all the time. We got you covered.
Excellent.
What is the chicken's name?
We don't name our chickens.
That's
We
the
name the
chickens.
chickens and makes it too sad
Can
when
I
you
meet the
slaughter 'em.
chicken and his family? And I'll need to know his ancestors as well. Do you have some kind of ancestral database or anything? I just care, you know.
Was he a happy chicken?
I never get tired of you, Gnome's sense of humor, and she kind of just like bops you on the nose a little bit. And you
And
two,
Feelix-
honey, what will you two have? And she points at you, Anam, and you, Charvande.
I clearly, I put on a bit of a charm because obviously you seem very, very, you seem very easygoing, and I just want to kind of slip in a bit of charm to like even loosen you up even more, so you'd be a little bit more friendlier towards us when it comes to the bill. So, hi there. Yes. Do you know what? I've once saw eyes like that, and it was in the night sky.
Ooh, I like you, dear. You could
Yes.
have whatever you want on the menu. We'll get it nice and hot for you. And you, finally, the one with that precious little haircut. What can I do for you? And she points at you, Anam.
Oh my gosh,
Thanks.
that's so good.
You know, I've never had pancakes before. I would
Stack
love
of pancakes coming right up.
And I
Thanks.
will have the same, please.
2
All you can.
stacks.
a couple worms for the tall, light fellow over here.
Cup of worms, did you say?
Yes. The dragon.
Fishing.
The dragon.
Oh,
fellow.
dear, we don't have
Fishing,
anything
sugar.
like that. But how about some cups of mead for the entire table? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Mead at this hour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
honey, it's
yeah.
never too early for some meat in these times. Am I telling you something right?
I
Seriously, a
kinda
full
like-
round of mead, though?
It's been quite the day. Let's have a round.
I pull out my horn, my giant horn, probably from something big, and I say, fill it up all the way.
And she kind of takes it from you, and she's like, "This might be a little bit more of an extra charge, dear. Is that all right?"
And I kind of look at I kind of look at you, and I'm like, I think you can do something for us, can you? And I kind of lean in, and I have a bit of, I'm wearing like a V-neck, so you can clearly see that I'm friggin' ripped, right? And I'm just like, you can cut us a deal, can't you?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
That's a 15.
And you see her kind of keeping eye contact with you. She kind of glances down to your V-neck. She looks up again and she says, "Well, all right, sugar, aren't you such a charmer? You got it. I'll be right back with your order." And she kind of heads off into the back. And then as she's heading off, she kind of looks over her shoulder. "Remember to tie your horse up outside. There's no horses in the inn." And she sort of heads off into the back room.
I can
So-
only charm her so much.
Is the horse in the inn? Did I hear that right?
You're sort of standing at the entrance, sort of still with the
Okay.
horse.
All right. Good. Okay.
So
Uh,
Feelix. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think that'll be necessary. It's not really a horse.
Common misunderstanding. So Felix is feeling very sated and listened to and appreciated, and God, no one even gave him, any crap about him being a nomitarian, and it's been a respectful day. It's been a day where he's seen a lot of magic. He's not very familiar, like he's not really spoken about this too much, but he's like this dragonborn. First off, he's a dragon. That's crazy. Grabs, Anam and like heals him. Okay, can we talk about that? Like that's insane. But he's kind of like, in this like crazy state of like a dreamlike state. Anything seems possible. But he also realizes that yes, there is this horse that is apparently a human that he learned how to talk to horses today. He should probably carry through with his duty and maybe talk to this patron, this lone patron in the bar, and maybe find out if they know anything about Finithur Shinebright and Ahmed, I think, is the person. Maybe just kind of like, ask a few questions, try not to be too prying, but he realizes there's still a duty that's to be had right now.
Okay, so you'll want to sort of go up and see the table of that farmer's wife over there. What are the other three of you going to do while Feelix does that? Do you want to join him or find a table or do something else in here?
I volunteer to take the horse outside and tie him up.
All right.
I said okay because I have a table to set up. We just ordered like everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of smile at everyone. I'm like, seats for us, and I hope you guys brought your bellies because we're eating very good tonight. You're welcome.
And I kind of interject and say, like, it might be best if I do this by myself. I don't want to scare him off or anything. Please stay with the table. I'll be right over here. I'll be right back. So I kind of insist to go about this alone, although they can still kind of hear me.
Okay. And Anam, are you going to join Charvande at the table, or?
I'll compliment the lute player on his abstract take on some old land ballads.
All right. So Anam, you kind of wander up to the bard and sort of sit down at a table and listen. And the bard, she looks a little bit, surprised. It's one of the first times she's had an audience for a little while, and you give her a little bit of, motivation. She's playing with a little bit more gusto. It's still out of tune. It's still not very good, but she's playing with confidence. And Dehli, you've taken Shinebright outside and you're tying him up, and he's just having none of it, pulling his head away, pulling his head away, pulling his head away, and then finally just kind of seems to concede to let you do it and sort of tie him up.
We'll be right inside over there. If you need something, sorry? Bye.
And Shinebright just kind of stomps as you go back inside. And Charvande having, just this, you pick the most extravagant table in this place. It's only got 4 or 5 pieces missing out of it. 2 of the chairs are fine. One of them is toppled over. You sort of pick it up. The other 2 are missing arms, but they look like they'll support your weight as well. And Feelix, you head on over to the farmer, who you see she's sitting there with her, her mug. You can't see what's in it. It's an opaque mug, but she's got on her plate just sort of a wooden stick with what looks like pigeon meat stuck onto it. And she's just, occasionally taking a bite from it and drinking from her mug and just sort of looking blankly at the table in front of her as she does it.
Sorry, who's looking at the table and
The farmer.
The farmer. Okay.
Yeah. Well, farmer's.
Oh, the farmer's still with us?
No. Sorry, this is just a patron in the inn.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Who was
Okay.
sitting in there when you came in.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
Lots of farmers in this region.
So Feelix kind of comes up, and he's trying to be kind of sly and suave, and he doesn't sit right next to her, but the stool to the left. So he kind of can't really hop up on it because the stool's a little bit taller than him. So he kind of parkours a little bit off the side of the bar, catches one of the rings right near the top of the stool, and kind of hoists himself into the seat. And he says, "Hey there, how are you doing?" As he's kind of nervous and, a little bit out of breath from the moment.
So she sees you kind of coming up on the chair, and she doesn't really make a movement. She just kind of watches you do it. And you start talking to her, and she says, "I'm very flattered. I'm married." She takes another sip of her mug.
I say, "Well, it's nice to meet you too. I'm actually not hitting on you or anything like that right now. I'm curious if you know anything about a certain individual that's gone missing."
And she sort of looks embarrassed for a moment, and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You wouldn't know what we have to put up with at places like this. My name is Diana, by the way. What did you say your name was?"
Diana, it's a pleasure. I'm Feelix. Nice to
Feelix.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. You said you were looking for someone who's gone missing?
Yes, I'm looking for someone named Finither Shinebright, and I was just curious when the last time you saw them was. Their family's very worried about them, and, well, I'm no police officer or anything like that, but
we just can't seem to find him.
Finithor Shinebright, huh? Sounds like one of those elven names. I haven't seen anyone like that around here. I'm sorry. How long ago did you say he went missing?
Oh, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago or so. They were very worried about this person, and I believe there's a reward for this person as well, for any information leading to their finding.
I can't say I would know anything about someone named Finithor Shinebright. I know there's this tree house in the forest that people talk about. There's a wizard who lives there. His name is something Noak. I think it's Ahmed Noak. You could try asking him. He might know about a Finithor Shinebright for you.
Ahmed Noak. Oh, interesting. I've heard of this person. Sounds like a nice guy. Can you tell me a little bit about him? Just like if I were to say hello, would he maybe try to kill me, or is he somebody who could have a nice conversation like a moment like this?
I mean, I couldn't tell you. I've never met him, but you know how those wizard types are. They keep to themselves in their towers. They look down on the rest of us doing honest work, and they want to take a shortcut with their magic. I don't have a lot of respect for them. I doubt you do either, right? You seem like a smart guy.
Oh, tell me about it. I've been there, sister.
But, no, I can't say I met him. No. I wouldn't trust a word that comes out of his wizard mouth, though, right?
Absolutely. Do you know whereabouts this treehouse is?
Deep in the forest, he keeps a pretty tight guard on it. I know he's been coming into town lately looking to hire a few guards, and then they just kind of disappear out in the forest. Haven't really heard anything about them.
Fair enough. That sounds good. Thank you so much for your assistance. Have a wonderful day. And Feelix kind of...
You got it, dear.
Bubbles
Thank
off.
you. And she sort of, takes a bite of her pigeon, and you see her kind of look off to the side and smile to herself a little bit. It's been a little while since she's had someone hit on her, and whether that was your intent or not, she's going to decide that that's what you were up there for, and she feels pretty good about it. You pretty much made her day.
Excellent. So Feelix kind of makes his way back to the table, smirking to himself, feeling like he's done a good thing today. He's done a good thing to help lead this investigation.
So the three of you sit back down at your table, and Anam, you're still listening to the bard play, and the cook kind of comes out with a big tray full of meats and berries and pancakes and 4 goblets of mead, and sort of sets them all down on your table, and on the way back sort of knocks the bard on the back of the head and says, "Stop playing that song. You know how much I hate that song. Play the good one." And she heads off into the back. And at this point, as you guys are sitting down to your meal, I think it would be a good time to take a short break. So we will give everybody an opportunity to grab some water, get some rest. Anybody in the audience who'd like to get a little bit of snacks as well, maybe run to the restroom, now is the opportunity to do it. We'll be back in just 5 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Myths of Mistral will return in 5 minutes.
See you soon.
See you soon. Indeed.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience. When we last left, the party was just sitting down. In fact, I should update this. The party was just sitting down to some delicious meal down at an inn, having met the most delightful of characters, Feelix, trying to hit on a farmer's wife. Don't know how her husband would feel about that. Anam enjoying some of the local music. Dehli dealing with Shinebright, our polymorphed wizard, turned into a horse, being tied up now outside. And Charvande just enjoying the praises of this cook that just can't get enough of his personality. And now with all of the food in front of you, you guys are just free to dive into whatever you'd like.
I kind of look over and at our gnome friend, and I say, "Do you see the stack of pancakes she put in front of you? She knew."
Oh my.
and it looks like the stack of pancakes is definitely like extra large. Maybe like they haven't gotten like any customers in a little while, and I just started chowing, or Feelix just starts chowing down on it. He's got food in his mouth, and he can't wait to eat, and also start like debriefing you guys about what happened with the farmer's wife.
I'm keeping my ears open while I kind of like take out my clean. Oh wait, my blades are not clean. I just rip off a hunk off the pig, like the leg portion. Seem to really like that. I kind of snap it, but I'm being like very like respectful and listening, nodding, and as I go, kind of off with the leg, and I'm like, so, what did you learn?
And Feelix like puts like a knife into the top of the stack and like pushes it down. It's like a little rubbery, but also fairly soft, and it just keeps going and going and going and going because this is a stack of like 15 pancakes, dude. Well, so I was speaking to her. This is delicious. I'm so happy we came here. So this, what's his name? Ahmed fellow. He comes into town every now and then. This is what she said. So looking for like guards, hiring people, and I guess he has some kind of like tree house. I'm not sure like what race he is, or I think he's a mage, but he's coming in every now and then. I think it's a he, and like hiring people, and maybe we can catch him in town or talk to some more people to find out more information about where he is in the woods. And I'm not sure if like Finnith or Shinebright can overhear me or anything like that, but we're just kind of like, coming together and like, what's the next move?
No, Shinebright's outside Tide, so he's unaware of everything that's going on. Just only aware of the people who are walking past, sort of like looking at him and being like, "Oh, look, little one, the horse," and he's feeling very indignant about the whole thing.
my friend Feelix. So enough about our little adventure here. What'd you learn about her? I saw you get real friendly. I saw her smirking. I saw her smiling. Yeah, you making the moves, huh? I like it. You're feeling bold today.
Anam, she's not available. That wasn't the purpose of my adventure. And Felix kind of blushes a little bit, also feeling pretty good about himself and kind of in a whirlwind of emotions about everything that's happened today has just been really crazy. You can't tell like reality from magic at this point. It's just, what a kooky day. Definitely in the moment right now.
I'm very proud of you. You have stones of a giant. And I kind of gave him I kind of get my drink up and I'm ready to revel with them. I'm like this, cheers. Way to go. Like,
bam.
Pow. Couldn't be any more prouder. And I just kind of, I take a big swig. Oh.
Yeah.
This is heavenly. Oh, I'm so happy.
I eyeball Feelix and I go, that can't be true. You're the size of a giant stone. and I continue to just do my own thing.
And as the food slowly starts to recede, it's probably the first time today you felt really comfortable and at ease. It was a rough morning, time on the road, but it's amazing how quickly things can turn. You've gone from sort of waking up this morning to now having killed people, animals, and met some new friends, shared some drinks, shared some food, feeling a lot more relaxed as the out-of-tune music just sort of fills the air around you.
She does play a great song, doesn't she?
And so now the cook comes out again and says, "Oh, anyone want anything else? Maybe some pie for the road, huh?"
I
Pie?
I'm sorry, what did you say, dear?
Is it meat pie?
It is not a meat pie. Don't worry, it's filled with raspberries, dear.
And I decide to kind of interject and say, "Oh my, this is awfully delicious. Oh, what a recipe. You know who has a great pancake recipe is Ahmed Nak. Oh, wonderful. I tell you, splendid. Have you ever met him?"
Oh dear, don't even mention that name here. We're trying to have a good time. Now I can bring you a slice of that pie, right?
And I kind of smile at her and I go, the whole cake? The whole pie?
And I kind of like put everything on hold real quick and go, "Oh, no. You see, I'm trying to find Ahmed. It's extremely important. Are you sure you don't know him or who he is?"
Dearie, he came by maybe 2 weeks ago. He was looking for some guards. We don't have anything like that here. We sent him on his way. He got his belly full of some meats. Now, what was that you were saying? You wanted a whole pie, dear? I think I could do a whole pie. You want 2 pies? I think I can bring you 2 pies.
I'm like this. Yes. What, if you don't mind? I'm a little, weak from my trip. I could go for 2 pies, and maybe when you come back later, you could tell me more about our friend, please. It means a whole lot to us.
And she kind of sighs, and she looks at both of you, and she's like, "I'll tell you what, dear. I'll bring you out 2 pies. And then you guys could hit the road." And she kind of winks and heads out down in the back.
And I look over. I'm like, Gnome, I don't like this. She is shady.
"I don't like this either. Something's going on. I have an idea. Quickly, one of us, go see the horse. Another one, go around back and make sure this person doesn't run away too fast or anything like that. Perhaps someone should guard the back door to make sure they don't escape. Something is definitely wrong here. I hope we're all full, but we've got some duty to do."
I got the back.
Can I sneak after her? I am a rogue.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the bard, it kind of has you in full sight, so he would see you going back there, or rather, she would see you going back there if you tried for it.
Ooh.
I think we keep it subtle and let someone go around the back, as opposed to sneaking into the kitchen. I don't think there's anything mischievous she can do back there, but she can try to escape.
Hey, Monk, I have an idea. But I need you to hear me out. What if she could be not getting us pie right now and could be calling for backup, reinforcements, calling a guard? You have to think like a thief. She may very much be distracting us, and she thinks I'm all about pie right now. We gotta think on our feet here. Can you distract our bard friend while I kind of slip on over to see if I can at least hear or see what she's up to?
As these guys are talking, I had to run back. I'm on the outside, just heading around the back.
All right, so Dehli, you've head out. Shinebright is still there and kind of like brightens up at your approach, and then you kind of just don't even give any attention to Shinebright. Just keep walking on past, and just like.
No, actually, as I walk by and he's like looking at me with attention, just kind of wave. Hey.
You know, Rogue,
and go on past.
My friend Rogue, I can't help but think the years of thievery and fencing and black marketing have made you too hard, too cold of a character. I think maybe you're reading too much into a kind lady who's just trying to make ends meet. But just to prove you wrong, I'll entertain this little charade and make my way over to our good bard friend and make her feel good.
And
Okay.
she's appreciative of the attention again, and starts playing with some joy.
I kind of smile, and I kind of earshot away, kind of whisper him, saying, "But if you are wrong, you better be able to act quick, monk. And I kind of do a half smile, but I kind of like segue away, and I sneak after her.
All right. So you're
far
gonna try
away.
to. What's that?
So I'm gonna be a little bit further back, like far away, so I can like at least see what she's doing and have like a way out.
Okay.
If I could probably hear what she's saying, if she's like calling for help, or if she's like not there anymore, I'll be able to kind of see it and then react accordingly.
Sure. So the doors on into the back are kind of those like slatted swinging doors. They don't go all the way floor to ceiling. So you're pretty confident that, you could sneak in behind some pillars and glance around and see if you could see what's going on. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Okay. Come on.
Rogue's first stealth check.
Yeah, right. Come on. That's a 12, and the stealth I have 4 in.
Okay, so
Oh.
16.
Yes.
All right. So you sort of get yourself behind one of the pillars and sort of make your way slowly. You're not familiar with this inn, so you don't know which boards creak. So you're just kind of, moving your feet carefully, feeling out the little spaces. And as, the bard is just playing music with Anam, suddenly the music stops. And she looks over. She's like, "Honey, where do you think you're going back there?"
Don't mind him. I told you, you play with such vigor and carefree nature.
And I wanted to dance back here.
And she
Okay,
gets just a big smile on her face, and she just starts shredding that loot for you and looks at you really expectantly.
We are not worthy.
And I just do a little dance. I'm dancing, and I'm just like, please play louder. And the monk wants to dance too.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and roll a deception check, Charvande.
God. 14.
No, honey, I think we both know you're dancing quite enough for the both of you. Why don't you go ahead and take your seat?
I kind of smile. I keep a really smile look, but I kind of give my monk friend a really like, hey, why is she so insistent in keeping us there? Kind of look like sketched out look. Like, okay.
I want to try and sit in front of her, block her vision, and just sit down. Pull the chair out so I'm sitting on it backwards, like an uncle. Just sitting here like. Now, who are you to tell my friend where he should dance and how and when and why? He was enjoying your music. Do you understand? I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart here with you. I've entertained your poor playing, that I think you should be appreciative of the attention you receive, because apparently you don't get a lot of attention here. Is that right?
He's using his inner Commander Riker.
And as Feelix sees the situation start to devolve, it's just kind of not going super well, but also Anam is blocking the view, or is attempting to block the view of, going into the doors and whatnot. He's aware that Dehli is on the other side, around the back. This is a good opportunity to assist and perhaps also try to stealthily go into the kitchen. So he kind of gets up to the bar. He's quite small, but he's also kind of clumsily trying to maneuver his way through the bar stools. And it's just he's stuck sometimes, and he's just really bad at this. He's not a rogue by any means.
So
but he
precious.
sees an opportunity to kind of he's not doing anything right now. He just said like we should do his plan, and then he's just chilling there with pancakes, still kind of pecking at it a little bit, thinking, how do I feel? How do I kind of fit into all this? Well, I could go talk to the horse. I could go take a walk. Well, I should probably do something. So maybe
you try to stealth into the kitchen. Is what you're doing?
I'm trying to go into the kitchen. I guess I'm gonna do a stealth check.
Okay, go for it.
Oh man, this is gonna be bad. Okay,
No.
so
Doesn't he naturally have stuff because he's short? Doesn't he get like some sort of bonus or no?
Not in
Halfling.
stealth, no.
How many halflings have that?
I'm like a rolling rock going through the bar, short and clumsy.
So in 5e, gnomes are actually, I think, bigger than halflings for the most part. So they're a little bit taller and lanky, but they're still really small. But yeah, they're not as sneaky.
Yeah, I'm 5. And for just for info, I'm 3'5" and I weigh 41 pounds. So we'll see how this goes. Rolling. It is an 11 plus, I guess. Well, I have 0 for stealth. My proficiency is 2.
Unless stealth is something you are proficient in, which
of
I
course
think
I'm
you're
not.
You don't get to add.
So
that.
just 11.
Okay, so as you're just sort of like passively making your way back there, seeing what's happening, and Anam, as you're engaging with the bard, and Charvande, as you're attempting to get back there as well, Feelix, you sort of get up to the door, and as you're walking, you sort of face first into the cook as she's coming back out again, and she's holding 2 pies in her hand, just sort of in separate boxes, and she looks down at you and is like, "Now, where are you heading to, dear?"
He was looking for the bathroom. He was our friend Dinkledime needs to dinkle.
And she kind of she takes the boxes into both hands and just kind of hands them to you, Feelix, and says, the total's 2 silver. I think you guys can find your own way out now. Yes?"
And
she sort of puts her hand out expectedly.
I let the person know that. Okay, so let me write this down. Oh, that's very kind of you. I appreciate this, and I'm sure you've done a wonderful job, but I'm a nomitarian, and I can't quite have this. But I've heard tell of your cooking, and I would really appreciate if you tasted the pie for us, just to kind of give us a good overview of what we can expect. Felix is pretty convinced that something's up here. This is bad news. Pie's probably poisoned.
And she's a little bit taken aback by this. She kind of looks at you. She's trying to keep that facade of happiness, like, and she looks over at you two, Anam and Charvande, to see if you're going to say anything to the gnome. And looks back at you two.
I kind of walk up to her, and I'm like, remember what I said when I first met you. I meant every word. And I would love it if you sat down with us and had some pie. I'm inviting you to have some pie with me. And the other 2. I'm clearly trying to give her, I'm trying to say, like, hey.
Eat my pie.
Right.
I'm going to eat pie with you. And, heck, I'll do it in any way you want kind of deal. But I need you to reciprocate.
So why don't you go ahead and give me another persuasion check then?
All right. 19. And a persuasion, I'm pretty sure I am in. Persuasion 4. Yeah. 19 and 4.
And she says, "Very sweet, dear. Thank you. I know you don't take much of an interest in someone like me, and I know you have to run off with your friends and go on to great adventures, but I appreciate you being so generous to me. I'll tell you what, you can have these pies on the house." And she just kind of shoves them to you again. Doesn't seem to be interested in the idea of sitting down and eating them with you.
So
And she kind of gives a curt nod and then heads back into the kitchen.
I think we could find our way out. Yes?
Felix. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm just like in like shock, kind of like that didn't work, kind of deal. Like I'm like I kind of look over at the monk, and I'm like, that worked on every single woman. I didn't even get she didn't even get a chance to feel my scar. This one. and that's called the lady killer scar.
And you see the bard kind of glance over and then look back at her instrument.
Well, my friend Charvande, Charvande for short. You know, sometimes you just gotta put your head down, keep on going.
Felix senses an opportunity is being lost here and can feel this kind of like, not like anger or resentment, but a changing feeling. A thing is changing in him, and he's thinking of doing something very devious. And he kind of lets out a gnomish-sized bellow at the cook as she's, or she, right?
She,
I think it's she.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's walking like through the doors, and he says, "Halt! This is the deal. You are going to give us information about Ahmed, or you are going to eat this pie, and we'll all be here to watch. Am I clear?" He thinks the pie is poisoned, can use this as leverage against the cook, but feels very like out of place for him. He tries to be nice to people and sweet, and now he's like putting this person in a position where he's like, this person could die for the sake of information on their quest with people he just met today. So it's like this, once again, like a force of will that just kind of comes through him like, no, you're not going to do this, and you're either going to give us the information or bad things are going to happen.
So go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Oh boy. Okay.
This is an intimidation gnome.
And I have 4 intimidation. I'm not proficient though. 8 plus 4. 12.
So she kind of looks at you and looks at Anam and Charvande and looks at the bard, just kind of nods and continues through into the kitchen. And the bard kind of like lowers the lute a little bit and stands up a little bit and just kind of, stands there looking at the three of you, not saying anything, just kind of standing there.
Huh.
Can we leave, please? We are chasing a wild goose, and while we're here doing this nonsense, trying to get information on this poor sweet woman who's just trying to make a living, Ahmed is planning his escape. He knows. Let's get out of here, or he could get away.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I feel that our bard friend has something to tell us. So please, I have this delicious pie. For any information,
try the scar again.
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to repeat myself, dear. I think your monk friend said everything that I needed to say. You should get going, I think.
Can I high five you?
Bard kind of high fives you back.
Huh? Gnome?
Strangely, during the high five, you feel something in the bard's palm that kind of hits you. It feels a little bit like a silver coin that sort of got pushed into your palm that you could feel as your hand sort of pulls away. You tuck it in your robe.
Felix notices this as he sits not sits, but he's standing kind of in the middle of where like the doors swing open. They've almost like hit him on the way back. He could get trampled on. He sees there's been kind of like a transaction that was had.
So go ahead and roll a perception, Felix.
Oh, okay.
A perception check.
For what?
For
to see if I
whether
perceive
you're
that?
actually seeing this.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 1.
You did not. So you sort of see the high five, you hear the clap. It seems jovial.
Yes.
Oh my, they're having such a good time. Perhaps this is a misunderstanding.
Now, I feel that with my wounded pride, okay,
Natural one.
being rejected twice in a row, you giving me sass, which are bad playing, I drop the pies, but not destroying them, just trying to drop them on the floor. I pull out my swords, and I just, I kind of just have it on her throat, and I'll be like, I want you to tell me what's going on. If there's anything going on, I need to know right now. Or the last thing you'll be playing, the song that you'll be playing is the song at your own pyre when they're burning you because you're dead.
My
So
friends,
you say this to the bard?
I say that to the bard.
Okay.
Say pyre.
my friends, she can barely play a tune. What makes you think she can keep a secret?
So you feel your sword suddenly get pushed down slightly as it was under the bard's neck. The head start growing and this snout starts sort of coming down as the maw comes down, and this bard slowly begins to grow larger and cover itself with hair, and teeth grow, and you see that you're suddenly looking face to face with a grizzly bear who just kind of gives a in your face, and just the air from its breath kind of blowing your red locks backward.
I look over at the monk and I'm like, I told you something was up. Let's leave.
Can I
If we left earlier, we wouldn't have to deal with this.
can I come around the corner?
Yeah, at
And,
this point, it's been a little while. You're still waiting for your friends to come. They haven't seemed to. Nothing has come out the back
Yeah,
yet, so you're
I'm
kind of
getting-
coming
I'm
back
getting
again
bored.
to see what's happening. And you're peeking in, just in time. Feelix there right underneath you.
But
as
I
this
want to
bard-
yell. I want to yell as I come around the corner. So have we caught the cheater lady that wants to kill us yet? And then I notice, I'm like, okay, guess not. Hello.
And your voice as your voice comes in, the grizzly bear kind of looks over to you and takes a swipe at you, Charvande, not at your body, but just kind of at the sword in front of you, and just kind of knocks it right out of your hand, and the sword just kind of tumbles on the ground. Then it continues looking at you with like a sound. It's just bearing down its eyes at you.
So
There's a
I'm
smile
just
on her face.
like, okay. Seems like we've got ourselves a hairy situation.
The farmer's wife goes, "Ha ha!" She seems completely unaffected by everything that's happened.
But listen, I just want to let you know that bears are delicious. And I want to be able to kind of scoot back as far away as I can and grab my sword again, because that bear, as far as I'm concerned, is game.
And the bear lets you do that and sort of like moves its body in between the rest of you and the sort of back cook area where you saw the cook disappear back into. And he's just sort of
Nice.
like, scanning around, kind of breathing and, posturing.
So it's not aggressive. It's
It's
just
not aggressive, no.
It's just telling us to leave. Shall we?
Damn it, Monk!
Feelix.
Where's their sense of adventure?
My sense of adventure is very much alive, and I need to be alive for it to be alive. So I want to be alive and not fight a bear.
Fine. No more. What do you think we should do?
I think we should collect ourselves, go find the horse, if it's still out front, because God knows what's happened out front while we've been in here wasting everybody's time. And go on our way and find the wand of magic healing or whatever it is, because while we sit here toying with a bear, Ahmed is getting away. I can sense it. I don't have ESP, but channeling myself. So
I interrupt the monk. I'm like, fine. God damn it! I just want you to stop talking at this point. I kind of wanted to make my mark, so I take one of my arrows and I just kind of fire it in its general direction, somewhere close to the bear, but just to make a point, like, I would have killed you, but homeboy saved you, kind of deal.
Okay, so you're kind of like aiming at the wall next to the druid?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, next to the bear?
Quite
Yes.
provocative.
All right.
I'm frothing at the mouth. I'm like, oh, let's wrestle a bear.
So Feelix is out of position. He feels like he's done wrong today in a way. Like everything was going really well, and then he's like accusing somebody of, having information they may not have. He's had visions of like force feeding them pie that was poisonous that didn't quite work out, and he's kind of having like a crisis in the moment. He's panicking with the bear there. So he starts to kind of shuffle his way towards the front door behind the bar, thinking it's kind of a stealthy escape. But he also kind of is still like doing things that are like out of his behavior. Retreating is not one of those things that's out of his behavior, but he sees some like really like low shelf like liquor behind the bar, like unfiltered vodka, just really nasty stuff. He decides to start like, grabbing like a few bottles just to kind of like, this might come in handy later. And he just kind of like folds in his arms and starts like shuffling out.
Grabs the hooch.
He doesn't know why, but it just seems like a good idea to grab some liquor right now. Might need it later.
Okay. Because of all of what's going on, I'm going to say that's a lot easier for you to do. So go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. But you get to roll that with advantage. So go ahead and roll 2d20s, and you get to keep the highest one.
2d20, roll, keep the highest one, okay. I've rolled a 10. I've rolled a 17.
Okay, so the bottles clink a little bit as you take it, and the farmer's wife seems to just, like, catch a little bit of a sight of it, but just kind of goes and goes back to her pigeon, and you're able to get it out. And Charvande, go ahead and make your attack roll for that short bow shot, too.
Okay, so big guy is a 14.
Okay. So, as you were intending, the arrow just kind of, skids past the bear's head and kind of embeds itself into the wall behind. Not super deep in the wall. It's a really well-made wall, but it's, a few inches stuck in there. And the bear kind of looks at you and pulls back its paw and makes a swipe at you. What is your AC?
I think it's 13. 13.
I need to get some bigger dice.
Come on. I've been conditioned for this. I'm ripped.
And does 14 damage. It's non-lethal, though. So the damage doesn't kill you outright. But essentially, this big swipe comes in, and it sort of hits you right in the side, right against your ribs. And it's not sort of a shattering blow, it's more of like a push. So it swipes down and hits you, and then just kind of like shoves you backward into the bar. And you hit the back of it, your head swinging back and hitting one of the pillars. And you just kind of like, consciousness slips from you, and you just kind of fall forward onto the floor, unconscious. And the bear, like, now looks back at you, Anam, and just goes...
Well, what if we just take our friend and leave? Can we do that? Is that cool? Can you English? Common? Can you common?
The bear doesn't respond, just kind of gives a...
All right, I'm gonna shuffle my way over to my unconscious rogue friend and pick him up by his feet and kind of drag him towards the door.
And the bear doesn't seem to stop you.
I go to help him.
Cool.
And with the
All
two
right.
of you, it's fairly easy. You're able to pull him out. You want to pull you all the way out into the street? Or are you staying in the inn?
Is he
Yeah.
not?
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of drag them out. And as you're sort of like on your way out, you see the bear just kind of slowly shift back into the bar that she used to be. Her hair a little bit ruffled, but she goes ahead and mats it down a little bit, and heads over on back to the loot, not even really making eye contact with any of you, just very calm about the whole thing. Sits back down again and starts poorly plucking at that out-of-tune loot. And then Anam, as you're starting to make your way out, you see her kind of like look up and give you a little bit of meaningful eye contact and nod a little bit and kind of go back to her playing.
Keep it up. You're good. You're learning. You're learning good.
Only way to go is up.
And learning is half the battle. As Feelix is holding on to multiple bottles of liquor as he tries to gain control of his posture.
So Feelix, you're coming out here, you know, all your bottles kind of spilling out, and Dehli and Anam pulling Charvande's passed out body out, and Shinebright sees you, and you, Anam, and Feelix, you hear him say, "Good Lord, what did you guys do in there?"
A whole lot of nothing. It's a disaster. Is that liquor, Feelix?
It is. I figured it might come in handy in the future. There's a lot of things you can do with liquor.
All right, as long as it doesn't
And
come
the
back
horse
to
just
haunt us.
kind of sighs and says, "Well, fine, whatever. Are you fed now? Are you ready to help me?"
Pancakes and vodka, all a part of a balanced breakfast. Yes, we're ready to go.
My friends seemed hell-bent on extracting information out of anybody in there at all. Now, please tell me that's a ridiculous endeavor, that we were just bothering innocent folks' lives and kind of causing a lot of scurry over nothing.
Listen,
What
we're here to do a
information?
job. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, listen, we're here to do a job. We're trying to find a lead for our friend here. We promised to help, and that's what we're trying to do.
We found a lead. It's a bear, playing a lute. Doesn't seem to help us.
We also found a lead that Ahmed is somewhere in the forest with a treehouse and comes into town occasionally to get guards for whatever it is Ahmed does.
And you
But
hear
we
the
found
horse just
lead
kind of
here.
go, "Noke is hiring guards?" And he kind of sways side to side, and he says, "Oh, I have a feeling he's not done using that wand of polymorph." And then just kind of goes silent.
So as you can see, there was a lot gained from going here, Mr. Anam.
I'm not disputing that. I'm disputing. We bought in a little hard. Let's say. Now, can we? How do we wake them up? I'm not used to unconscious people. Can I give them a slap on the face? You know, wake
Sure.
up. Yeah.
So you slap him across the face. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm just kidding. And he, you're a monk. You slap hard. If you're gonna wake someone up, you're waking them up from the dead. And you know, it's a firm slap. You know, it's a firm slap. You're not trying to kill him or anything. But he sort of, you know, a little bit begins to come to, and there's a little bit of like, you know, scanning for the bear as the life kind of returns to his eyes.
Welcome back. It wasn't a dream, I promise. We should probably get going.
Puny human.
Oh, goodness. I was having such a lovely dream. I was in the land of purple. And now I'm back with...
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thank you so much for waking me up. What happened? Did I kill the stupid bear?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, can't you hear the lovely lute?
Well, oh, I'm happy then. Thank goodness.
We accomplished what... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, actually, I kind of look over to the gnome, who I now see has a whole bunch of alcohol in his hand. I'm like, one of them I just kind of pick up. I'm like, for me, you shouldn't have. And I kind of grin, and I kind of get down on like one. Actually, I awkwardly hug him, like down on my knees, kind of hugging him, kind of. Thank you so much. You are a ruffian just like me. I could see it in your eyes. And I kind of take one of the vodka bottles and I kind of down it because I'm in pain. And I'm just kind of like, shall we go then, boys, wherever we're going?
I say, yes, that bottle's for the axe. Thank you for the axe. I think we've done good here, people. We've set out what we chose to do, which we're trying to help this horse-like human creature. We picked up some leads, and, well, we didn't die. So that's always a good thing. Plus, we've got some bottle service here now, too. It's not probably drinkable stuff. It's bottom shelf. I mean, maybe we could start... we could, I don't know, Christmas presents or... I'm not sure.
Seems drinkable to me, gnome. Seems
So
drinkable
the
to
bottles you got, by the way, you got a total of 4 bottles that you were able to get away with. All 4 of them are kind of in various states of filled up, most of them about half empty. 3 of them are vodka, 1 of them contains whiskey.
Well, either Christmas presents or Molotov cocktails. I guess it's our choice.
So
I kinda-
Shinebright kind of like... So what information were you here looking for? I thought you said you 4 were on your way to a tournament?
Well, I mean, we could go about our tournament, but that doesn't sound like helping you. And you promised us goodies.
Well,
No, you
yes,
only-
I would like you to go to my home and take care of my apprentice for me.
Yeah, and you only get goodies at a tournament if you win. We don't have to win, we just have to try, right? Still give us goodies?
Yes, of course. You can have all the magical artifacts you want, anything you want in the tower. Let's just go and take care of it, please.
You're talking to the horse again. That is very, very cute.
Yes, it's
So-
too early to be drinking, Anam. God.
So this treehouse, we know about this art. You knew about this.
Yes, it's where I live.
Ah, this is down the road? Is it literally on the road?
Yes, it's if we go about half a mile more down the road, you'll see a road marker. We can go off the road there into the forest. It's about 500 yards. You can't miss it. I could take you right there.
Can we ride you there?
You hear sort of a pause, followed by a little bit of a long, drawn-out horse sigh. No.
Alright. Like, I thought I'd ask, Never hurts to ask.
I not hearing anything, I kind of try to get myself on top and like, all right, take us, let's go.
He said no. Alright. Can we respect the horse's wishes?
Horse, you are meant to be ridden. I'm tired.
And Shinebright just kind of knowing, if this is what it's going to take to get help, there are a few things he's going to have to put up with. So he just doesn't even wait for any sort of acknowledgement, just sort of starts walking you off in the direction that you were already coming, away from the main road and away from the inn.
Hey! Why is he getting a ride from the horse that... You know what? Fine. I'll waddle there. I'll just walk.
Let me
And
help.
Shinebright sort of walks up ahead of you, his tail sort of flipping behind him, and as he goes past, he gives you a little bit of like a right in your face with the bristles of his tail.
You should get that combed, horse. What's the matter? Lost your master? As I angrily kind of side smiles, but obviously the monk is kind of you. I'm assuming you said you're like helping me along.
Yes, because clearly you can't stand up for yourself.
Delicious, I'm telling you.
You have a constitution of a tiny little girl.
And the charm of one, I think.
So Feelix, Feelix noticing this, the silly kind of antics going on here, kind of rolls his eyes, scoffs a little bit. Still doesn't know why he grabbed the liquor. I mean, like, he thinks maybe it's like a tool he could use later or something, or maybe it could help him charm somebody, but it seems like people like to drink liquor sometimes. He's never had it before. So he kind of waddles towards the horse, as I think the horse is starting to go away, and says, come on, guys, we've got a quest to do. We've got something important going on here. We'll get to know each other as we start hitting the road some more. And then he kind of like, he's trying to be like charming and charismatic. He kind of continues shuffling. One of the bottles falls out on the ground. It shatters. Oh, well, I guess they won't be missing that anymore. And he just kind of continues to walk with the horse, trying to kind of lead the rest of everybody to go with him, but the shattered bottle didn't exactly help.
I'm like falling asleep next, like feeling the warmth of the monk and the fact that I'm like now kind of like really hammered. I'm starting to like fall asleep partially on the monk. Just, monk, your robes, they feel like Athena's hair.
Does Athena's hair have blood in it? Because my robes surely do.
Good.
Don't worry, we'll wash it with Tidal. It's a great product.
And you sort of keep heading down the roadway. Anam, could you give me a nature check?
Okay. Oh, I have a -1 modifier. Good.
Should be fine.
10.
Yeah, I think that'll make it. Okay, so you, as you guys are going along, you sort of reach in and pull out that, what you thought was a silver piece that the bard had given you, and you sort of look at and turn it over in your hand, and you notice it's sort of this round, almost a crest a little bit, which has a bird on it, which you recognize to be a finch.
Do I recognize the symbol or anything? Is it just, do I just know the bird and that's it?
You recognize that it's a finch. Why don't you give me a history check?
Can surely do that. All right, -1 again. Oh, 2 -1. So, 1.
You don't. I mean, you know it's a finch, and you know finches are pretty popular around these parts. They're migratory birds. They eat seeds, but further back in their history, you don't know a whole lot about them.
All right. Well, I want to catch up to the horse and like talk about this coin with the horse. Shinebright.
Mm-hmm.
Got it this time. So I run up. I scurry on up. I'm pulling him with me, of course. He's still here, but I've kind of forgotten about him as he's limping alongside me. I've still got a hold of him, and I've got this coin, and I go up to the horse, Mr. Shinebright, and I say, the bard wolf lady, the bear lady, she gave me this coin. It's got a finch on it, I think. Do you know anything about this? Do you recognize this at all?
A bear woman gave this to you, you say?
Yeah, she was playing she was playing the lute, and then my drunken friend here made one too many aggressive gestures, and she like the shape shifted. You know what shape shifting is. You've done that before.
You're saying she's a druid? Yes, I understand.
All right, she's a druid, and she wasn't happy, and I high-fived her, and she gave this to me.
Oh, I recognize that symbol. She's a member of the Order of the Finch. Why did she give this to you?
I don't know, but she gave me this look as I was leaving. She might have winked. She didn't wink. No, I'm imagining that. But she
winked at me.
Well,
Yeah.
if there's a
I don't know.
druid of the Order of the Finch in the area, I imagine there are probably more. They migrate north and south every generation. They pass through periodically. We see them. They don't talk to people much. I couldn't tell you why she gave it to you.
I couldn't either. I don't know. Weird.
Did you get her name at least?
No, I insulted her a bit, but for some reason she still found it in her to give this to me. I guess she knew I was trying to save face or whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're this enamored with this bear woman, once we get my wand of polymorph back, I could turn you into bear, and you and she can have a wonderful time together, whatever you'd like. All right, will that work for you?
I kind of sheepishly nod, and in the back of my mind, the hope that Shinebright forgot that he made this promise in the future. All
Good,
right,
very
yeah.
well then, thank you. And he sort of continues on. And as you guys walk into the distance on the road, sort of following Shinebright, is there anything final that you'd like to do before we close Chapter 1, Session 1 of our very first campaign?
I am so sleepy. Do you guys want to like sleep? Do you guys want to just kind of set up a camp, and I just kind of topple over and I just out. I'm asleep. Like I just pass out on the grass.
Well, we could either carry him or stop for the evening with in ice shot over there.
I vote leave him.
Feelix is very excited that he's made some new friends today. As he's kind of a wanderer and doesn't get a lot of work, and he doesn't have many close people in his life. So he's very excited that he's kind of met definitely some hooligans here, but they've been a lot of fun today. He's still also kind of questioning his sanity a little bit about what happened. Anam was covered in blood. Dehli healed him just like that. How did that happen? He is pretty sure that it seems really unlikely that him looking in a certain place and a fire starting there, that seems really unusual. He was very surprised that he stole some liquor and thought that he was going to maybe force feed what he thought was poisonous pie to somebody. But he's kind of letting these thoughts go for now, just thinking, we're on an adventure. These things have never happened to me. This is what normal people do. And he kind of lets that thought go for now. He's just happy that he made some friends and is hoping that he's going to wake up again the next day without them stabbing him in the back.
Even though one of our party members is known for stabbing people.
You saw him stab someone in the back, in fact.
I don't think he's in the condition to stab anyone.
That's what he wants you to
And
think.
you all sort of gather up around Shinebright as the farmer's wife that you had met earlier, Feelix, comes out of the inn. She kind of slides one more last piece of the pigeon meat off the stick and kind of flings it into the dirt as she sort of looks down the road at where you are and sees your footprints sort of going off in the distance. This very, very heavy dragonborn footprints and these small, light gnome footprints and the footprints of a human and then another sort of very draggy footsteps of a human. And of course the Shinebright's pony footprints going off in the distance. She just kind of shakes her head and heads back down in the other way toward her farm. Guys, thank you so much for being with me here today, all of you. I hope you had a lot of fun both playing and watching. Before I release everybody, we're going to do one final outroduction, I suppose, on who we are and where you could find us. My name, of course, is Fruitbats. I stream here, twitch.tv/Fruitbats, 6 days a week, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, around this time. Feel free to come on back. We do a lot of video game playing here, but we decided to play Dungeons & Dragons for the first time. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you guys did as well, so we're probably going to do this in the future as well. And KZ Fru, where can we find you?
You can find me in various places on the internet using this handle that Brian has so graciously provided down there. I speedrun very often. I'll be speedrunning tomorrow. I stream in the afternoons for America, evenings for Europe. Play all sorts of old Grand Theft Auto games and others, you know. GDQ alum, class of 2017. So, you know, I'm the real deal. Sim, take it away, my friend.
First off, I just want to say thank you, Brian, for doing such an excellent job DMing. Seriously, you did a really, really good job. I know it's not easy, but like your creativity and like vivid, you know, illustration of the events is really inspiring. I know I'm speaking for a lot of everybody out there right now. Just like thank you for the hard work you put in. It very much shows. And please remember to follow Fruitbats. Not only is he a fantastic broadcaster, but we'll also continue to do this. We'll continue to be doing this this D&D excursion. So be sure to hit that follow button, and he deserves it. Hope you've enjoyed his excellent DMing tonight. By the way, I'm Sim, or SimCopter1. I do strategy and simulation games on Twitch. We have a wonderful community. Please know that you're welcome to join our community if you like. We start 8 p.m., 10 p.m. or so Pacific time, and typically stream during the night. But yeah, you're always welcome, obviously here, and you're always welcome on our channel too, over at twitch.tv/SimCopter1.
Thank you. Danotage, where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I mean, I don't want to say I'm impressed, because I kind of expected something like this out of Bats, as we know how talented he is and stuff like that. So yeah, so thank you for doing everything you did. I think the layout and everything looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for everybody that was playing. I mean, a lot of you are not very experienced when it comes to role-playing games, and you all did fantastic. That's really awesome. And you can find me. I'll stop spieling. Find me on twitch.tv/danotage. I usually start like in the middle to the middle end of like Simcopter's broadcast, so we go after him into the morning and afternoon for EU and stuff like that. I just announced Dauntless partnership, so we play a lot of Dauntless, and we'll be doing a lot more of that stuff soon. So yeah.
All right. An animated break. Where do you live on the internet?
Hi, I live in Canada, but I live on the Canadian side of the internet. Hi, you can call me Richard or Moose. I just kind of want my mini spiel is very frank. There are people in this chat right now that are responsible for me getting into D&D. I remember mentioning it like in passing and saying, "Hey, I really want to roleplay, guys, and I want to try this out." And I had my first opportunity with wonderful Impious, and now it's just kind of really, really special to me that you approached me and said, "Hey, Rich, do you want to get in on a D&D campaign?" Because I really wanted to get into it. My community sent me like the book, they sent me the dice and everything. So really and truly, thank you so much for getting me involved. I'm really excited to be amongst you guys. I'm honored. And what I do, I just stream variety. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm very community oriented. I just play whatever I think is going to be fun and entertaining, and I can still engage you guys. I think that's the most important thing to me, is you having fun with me, as opposed to, you just watching me play a video game. It's the whole experience, and we have a great community. Everyone has a great community here, and I'm honored to be a part of this entire experience. So thanks. Animated break.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your kind compliments. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. We're going to be back again, so if you had a good time tonight and you're like, no, wait, I need more of this Dungeons & Dragons nonsense, we're going to have that coming up. And we're looking at probably bi-weekly sessions, which means every 2 weeks. I don't know how you would say twice a week. Is that semi-weekly? I know one is semi and one is bi. I forget how it works. The point is, it's every 2 weeks. So
Yes.
we'll figure out a good day and time, and we'll let you know. So as long as you're following one of the five of us, ideally all five, because you probably like good content, right? So shortcut there. But if you're following one of the 5 of us here on Twitch or on Twitter or anywhere like that, you'll receive some good notifications about when our next session will be, probably in about 2 weeks from now. And I will be sticking around a little bit here on this channel to answer any questions anybody might have about the game. We'll have like a short debriefing Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master session. I know some of you might have your own streams that you might be starting up right now. And for those of you who aren't, I'm sure everyone can see you in the very near future as well. Guys, thank you so much for being here again today. Hope you have a great evening.
Thanks for having us, Brian. Did an excellent
thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you once again.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.